So south of St. Thomas, so what do you hear for about a half hour or so?
Yeah, about a half an hour. Yeah, I'm going over to look at he's got 1/4-inch subfloor over
Yeah.
there, $20 a sheet. So I need 8 sheets.
Okay.
It works for me. I'm gonna pick them up. I got the money in my pocket just in case. But I said to the guy, "Well, I work for a subfloor because it's supposed to be construction grade, but you know, I don't want to have to be sitting there fixing all these holes and fixing everything else, right?"
Right.
And he's, "Well, come over and take a look." So I got to be there at 6 o'clock. So, but then I'm going for coffee after that. Gonna work for me. Gonna pick him up. But he goes, "Yeah, new woman." What a busy day today. Oh crap! I'm tired right now. I can lay down and have a nap.
Well,
Ways to go yet.
you're always running everything ragged.
Oh yeah. Oh well. Hopefully it'll slow down next week.
Yeah, you only have what, one more day.
One more sleep. And piss on him. I'm gonna sleep in. Hey, Corey and Patty Keck. Hey, good morning, Patty.
Jack and Corey, hey, how you doing? Welcome.
Well, is the water level going down there, Corey, or is it going up still?
Yeah, how's your parents' cottage? That wasn't good.
Yeah, I don't want to have to get floor patch and patch all this fucking stuff. I don't know how good it is. It's supposed to be good, really good stuff. No nail holes, no screw holes, no nothing on it.
Right.
Corey said slightly going down.
Is it still in the house or no? Because at one point in time, it was like an inch from going in the house, and I figured it went in the house.
Oh yeah. But it was above the front door there. The picture was seen yesterday, so.
So what did you do today, Paul? Did you do anything or?
Oh yeah, just going all day today, Paul. I had to go out of town for a sign again this morning, and I'm down in the area that's piss poor signal, so I didn't even bother trying to come online. So wow, look who's here. Mr. Dre.
Yeah. We were
Hey,
just,
Trey, how you doing,
over
buddy?
Justin's channel, and David reminded us that you were coming on, so
Yeah.
we all decided to come pay you a visit.
Well,
So
that's nice of
this is a hashtag Bertha raid.
Bertha raid.
Yeah.
I couldn't spell Bertha, so I just put Justin in the chat.
Were you able to give that message over to Lynn for me, Paul?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you need to.
I'd like to get her reaction if she decides to watch it.
Okay. Yeah, she's not been doing too well, but yeah.
Oh, so is it long term or just recent?
Well, she can't. The VA is screwing her over on her benefits.
Oh boy.
So she's VA for medical, and a month ago they said, well, we're gonna send you to a specialist because she can't breathe. She can't get any air.
Oh, wow.
And they won't give her any oxygen or anything until she sees the specialist. And so the soonest they can get her in is the 15th of this month from last month.
Wow.
My petty.
You know, it's like if she goes to go from the living room to the bathroom or the bedroom,
Mhm.
she has to stop halfway and catch her breath.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not good.
No, that's not good at all.
Can't leave me.
What's up, Joe?
What's up, Joe?
Oh, hi, guy.
Hey,
Joe,
Hello,
Patty?
Miss Patty.
Paul,
Patty,
you mind throwing Joe a wrench?
hey, Justin.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
looking a little gray there.
I'm just sending out the invites now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Don't forget to pin your link.
Pin your
Yeah,
link.
Where's Tim at to annoy the shit out of Paul for wrenches? Because he does it to me too.
Yeah.
Oh, looking a little gray there, looking a little gray.
Hashtag Bertha, right?
The next time Tim says that, tell him to get some Grecian formula.
Yeah.
Yeah, he won't even like somebody will pop into my chat that we know that might not happen to have a wrench. He won't
Uh-huh.
even let me say hi to him, and he'll be like, "They're looking a little gray."
That's they'll get some Grecian formula, getting that hair color for men.
Yeah.
Guys,
Grecian 2000.
Yeah.
this was in Calgary. So they stole a bunch of Mini 3s by looking at Mini 3 Pros, RC controllers. These are the serial numbers of them. This is in Calgary.
Hey, you remember when they did that what was that, about a year and a half ago? They stole all
That was
those.
in Toronto. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not working today.
Hmm.
The problem is you buy it, you can't register it or whatever. As soon as you go to register it, they said that the police would they said that who's got them, but anyways, they have all the serial numbers already. So Department of Transport Canada, yeah, Transport Canada.
Hey, Joe should be blue.
Yeah, well, the thing with
Yes.
that, Paul, is that they can sell it online to somebody, then whoever buys it tries to register it, and then wow, you
Yeah.
find out you got to.
Oh, Patty.
Property.
Hi.
Hey, Dave.
Hi, Wayne.
Hey, is it pretty sunny in your bedroom?
I got my blackout curtains drawn.
You got your blackout what?
Curtains drawn.
Oh, okay.
A lot of
You,
them
you expecting an air raid or what?
No,
Oh,
his
I
life
just
is so
haven't-
bright he has to wear shades.
Yeah,
I know. I came home from the doctor.
that's okay. David, don't, you know.
Tim,
you-
No,
Well, the physical therapist put me through so much. I'm
You,
tired.
you might get more people watching you if the sunglasses.
hello, guys.
Just call me Hollywood from now on.
Hey, there you go. Hey, call him Hollywood.
Hollywood Dave.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Dave. We're not going to
What the heck?
press you too much, but we are going to bully you.
Yeah.
God, I'd be hurt if you did.
Tim, stop harassing the new people in the chat. First
Yeah.
one.
Hey, Dre, I haven't seen you in a long time. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I've been keeping an eye on you. I've seen you coming in a couple of times here.
Okay, you look good.
Well, so
Of course
do
you
you.
do. Nobody looks that good.
Gray is the best dressed man on the internet.
He is. We're talking West Coast there.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, the West Coast within the city limits of San Bernardino.
Hi, Brad.
That's
Patty,
new.
Patty says hi. Patty's new to the channel.
Yeah.
I
seen
saw her
name in the chat
yesterday.
before.
I saw her yesterday. Hi, Penny.
Yeah.
Hi.
I know some people out where you're at. I want to talk to you about that, but I
Go
didn't want to
ahead.
take up time on your first day.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I watch a show, a video channel on here called Fab Rats. And
Okay.
the guy and the couple that does that's name is Paul, and his wife's name's Michelle, and they
Lab
live
Rats.
out there somewhere in
Do you
southern
know the show
Utah.
called Lab Rats?
Yeah, that's or Fab Rats, FAB,
Fab.
fabrication.
I haven't heard of them. My boyfriend's
Oh.
right here. He hasn't either. We
Oh,
just got a
okay.
coffee table and
Yeah.
it came to us broken. And so we're trying to, yeah, in pieces. Not happy.
Let me see, Tim.
Hmm.
What?
It's unfortunate.
I'm gonna turn it on.
That's not good.
No, I'm
Oh,
gonna see
no.
what you can see behind me. He's right here. Russell, where are you?
Dominic might go live around 10 PM Eastern my time, Tim.
I'm
So
in
if
bed.
Dom wants to go live, I'm not gonna take it. I told him if he wants to go
Thank
live,
you.
go ahead.
You did a great job.
I'll jump on there with him.
Justin,
Yeah.
you're the king of late night now, you know?
It seems that way, yeah.
Dre, did you see last night he was on for what, 5 hours?
Nearly 5.5 hours.
I think
I was
3 in the
glancing
morning.
back and forth because I was doing some other stuff, and I see that Justin was on and on
And
and
on.
on and on.
Well, you know, I'm
Quarter
tired of Dominic trying to
past
outpace
5 in
me.
the afternoon for me.
Well, Justin, you ain't got a
Making
chance to get
cases.
Dominic, because Dominic just piggybacks on everybody else's show.
He was piggybacking on that one.
He's just riding the coattails of all of us big channels.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. See, you have to be like CNN to outdo Dominic.
Yep.
I mean, Dominic's on shows I can't even get an invite to.
Yep.
I'll put in a good word for you, Draymond.
I appreciate that.
Well, Dre, you've heard it now. Dominic's gonna put the good word out there for you.
Oh, I can say I'm waiting. You know,
And your time zone friendly for me, so that's good.
Oh, that is delicious.
Got it. Sorry, we're moving furniture. We're moving furniture. Sorry, dude.
Would you get a king size burrito or what there, Justin?
No, this Crown Royal vanilla is really good.
Oh, nice.
Oh, a little liqueur.
Yeah.
Got it.
The spirit.
Let the spirits move you.
Yes.
So what's going on with you guys?
Well,
Just
it's Friday morning
another
here.
day in paradise, Patty. You know what I mean?
I know. Like I told you yesterday, I have 24/7 pain, and today's one of those days that I just don't even want to move.
Yeah.
I'm tired. Well, we got to get going. We got to go take this thing back to return it.
Okay.
Ugh.
I
Yeah,
hope
I'm
you get
just-
some relief, Patty.
Good luck.
I really want to see can't wait
Really
till the
good.
coronation.
The coronation,
Stay away from that
the
brown liquor,
coronation
Justin.
show, Patty, is going to be here. David and Laura are going to the coronation,
They're
and
gonna
they're
be
going to be
live from the
broadcasting
coronation.
live from there at 5:20 in the morning.
All
So
right.
20 here.
5:20
Oh.
here, and where you are, that would be like 3:20, I think.
I'll set my-
I'm
all
sorry,
right.
but I don't drive school bus on
Hey,
a
Rod.
Sunday.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. We'll see
Bye-bye,
you.
Hi, Patty. Nice to meet you.
Nice to
Yep.
meet you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey,
What's up,
Jerry,
Rod?
I'm on. Hey, Jerry,
Yes, sir.
you got a Nevada yet?
No.
Oh, you can get a Nevada. You can help. You can help poor Marcus out. I just watched his second flight. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, I saw that he had posted one. I was gonna look at it a little later when I got home or something.
The
Yeah,
first
what
one.
happened?
The first one was kind of funny. I'll just say he's had a little learning to do. The second one was much better. Although apparently he still hasn't watched all the videos. He wasn't adjusting the speed on the thumbstick, so it was
Oh.
really slow. And it's like,
Mhm.
he should have watched Dobo's video.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah, I'm on
having
the
fun
fence.
trying to get used to that thing.
Yeah, I'm on the fence this year of buying a base station with either the Maverick 3E or buy an RTK Phantom.
Ooh,
That's either one. I'm gonna buy either one of those by the end of the year, most likely.
makes sense given what you do. So
Yeah, so that's where my money's going. So I'm trying to watch my nickels and dimes and see if I can pick up one.
for inside stuff though, the Avata is actually freaking really good.
Well, yeah, like I say, it for people who do work like I do, that would be a nice drone. Like I said, that's why I've always kept my Spark for doing inside work. It's small.
Yeah.
You can put it in tripod mode. It moves so slow, you don't worry about it, running anybody.
Yeah.
Well, Dre, Justin is a fellow Sparky.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I got the full setup on the Spark.
Yeah, I got the full deal. I even got the, we call it the charging hub thing.
Yeah,
That
that
you
the
can
whole
put-
drone sits on.
Yeah, the drone
Yeah.
sits in it and charge 2 extra batteries all at the same time.
Yep.
Yeah, me
will
and
s-
Dre were looking at those not too long ago.
Yeah.
I will say Marcus was doing what I was doing when I first got the thing, was first flying it too. And I think it's part of just sort of getting oriented to having that screen so close to your head. He was flying with his head. He was looking down the entire time.
Yeah.
flying.
Yeah, that's the natural thing. Everybody puts their head down. to fly. But
Down.
Also, Marcus has vision issues that
Yeah.
I know
he has
one eye. I
challenges.
think he only actually has good vision out of one eye.
One eye. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a whole nother learning curve in itself. But I know
So-
flying with goggles, even when I used to fly with the old Epson 300s, BT 300s, and
Mhm.
just getting used to that, it gives you that totally immersed feeling.
I can't wait for a Mavic 3 Pro to show up to fly with the goggles and the motion controller. I mean, once you learn to fly with that motion controller,
Hmm.
one, the motion controller hands down will give you better video. You will never be herky jerky flying around with that motion controller. It's like fly by wire on aircraft,
Right.
Mm.
where it's sort of the computerized. So it's always going to be a bit smoother because it's the computer sort of doing the responses and turns and things that you're doing
Right.
with that motion controller. But the killer feature, and it's one that a lot of people haven't messed with or haven't really messed with much on videos that I've heard them talking about, the killer feature, and it will be with the Mavic 3 Pro or the Mini 3 Pro if you use the goggles, is head tracking.
Mm.
One of the hardest
Mhm.
challenges with a drone is manipulating the sticks and manipulating the scroll wheel to keep the gimbal freaking pointed at your target, right?
Right.
Trying to do
Yeah.
those 3 operations with the head tracking, you just look. You're
Now,
not
I was
messing,
gonna
you're not
question
messing
this
with 3, you're not messing with 3 things. You're literally just look where you want to see, and that's where it's going to
Okay.
look.
So I was gonna say, I was gonna ask you that the head tracking, is that just for the drone direction or also the gimbal?
The drone and gimbal. So the
Wow.
drone, and they did this on the Avata. So let's say you're flying forward and you see something to the left, right? If
Mhm.
you look left, the drone, I don't know if you can see my hand. Anyways, the drone will turn left, but it will still keep flying the direction you were going.
Oh, okay.
So you could look one way and fly the other.
oh, that's impressive.
Yeah. So imagine doing that with like a Mavic 3 Pro or a Mini 3 Pro, right?
Mhm.
You could
Right.
and it was kind of funny because Marcus in his video, he was trying to figure out how to do an orbit around something,
Right.
which is a little hard. I haven't quite figured it out with the new joystick where you can go left and
Mhm.
right. You should be able to kind of tilt the drone and then do the left and right to kind of get it to go in an orbit. But I'll be honest, the easiest way to do an orbit around something is use the head tracking. Just fly and keep looking. It'll look like
Mm.
you're going in a circle around the thing, and you are. But because your eyes are pinned to the target, you
Right.
kind of won't ever get off, so to speak.
Yeah.
If you ever need tech support, call Matt.
Yeah.
But
That's who Dre and Sean call.
that head tracking is hands down the
Especially if
killer,
it's a 360 video.
is the killer feature of using the goggles and that motion controller with the Mavic 3 or the Mini 3. Hands down. Once
Mhm.
people finally get their head wrapped around what you can do with that combination,
Right.
I think a lot more people will end up liking it.
Now I'm kind of surprised. I mean, I understand it's new. The Pro is new and everything else, but with all the hoopla, especially here in the States about line of sight rule and everything else, now they're putting out a product that's in direct contradictory of that rule. And now you're kind of enticing people to go out and fly with
You still gotta have
goggles
the
on.
observer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've been
Yeah.
doing that. Now you're talking
But
about you really got to
that's
go
the
out
whole
and fly with
FPV. That's the whole FPV
But
conundrum.
doesn't it make it safer
Nice.
flying a drone like that? Because you could literally turn the drone and look to see if something's coming
Well,
at you.
it's
Or
not so much you need to see exactly where the drone is being aware of your other area around you. other obstacles, other aircraft, all this kind of stuff that, you know,
ADSB is in it, so it actually tells you that there's aircraft around.
yeah. So it's gonna be that kind of stuff. But like I say, you know, what's the most common accident we see? Somebody flying in a panning motion and run to a pole, tree, whatever else building, because they can't sense it because they're not be able to see the different, you know, what's it, the depth perception of the building, the drone. All this kind of
You know, that happens without goggles, so.
Yeah, that's
I-
my-
that's the
I
whole
point.
literally don't know
That's-
what the difference is. They fly into it. In fact, I would argue, now that I've flown with the Avata, I would
Mhm.
argue this, that you see better.
Yes.
Your perception of everything is better. Your depth perception of the objects is better than it is looking at a freaking normal controller with a phone or the
like I say,
or the
when I used to
RC
fly
or the
with
RC
my,
Pro. Take
my
any of
Epson,
them, I don't care.
You know, when I used to fly with my Epson glasses, you're right. You get a more immersed feeling
Being
of, I would say, at least 100 and I would
I-
say
I-
maybe 160-degree angle.
I feel way more comfortable coming within a couple of feet of something
Yeah.
with that setup than I do with the regular remote. End of story.
Yeah. And like I say,
No.
I don't know about the Avata with the goggles, but I know with the Epson, as long as it's in front of you, you can get a lot closer, fly a lot smoother,
Yep.
everything else, right? As long as it's in front of you. I'm worried about at the very edges of 180 degrees, 190 degrees, where you know, something's out of your vision, your peripheral vision.
Well, it's out of your vision on the controller too. So.
Now
Right.
that tracking program that's in the planes that comes up the 80.
Yeah, the
what's it,
ADSB.
the
ADSB, yeah.
ADSB. Now, if I'm not mistaken, not all helicopters have that in there, right?
Not all planes have it. You don't-
Because I have
Yeah.
actually seen helicopters when I was flying my Air 2
yeah,
actually come over top of me, and I didn't hear them till last
That-
second, but I was not high
that
enough
whole
to hit 'em,
ADSB thing is weird.
and I
because
didn't
it's
know it was coming.
It's only
Well,
class.
I've
It's only
actually seen
class
a,
D or
hot air
higher.
balloon with an ADSB in it.
Yeah, it's only class D. I think it's class D to A that they're actually required to have it. So if you're class G airspace, the plane's not actually required to have it, is my understanding.
Yeah. Well, like I say, with manned aircraft, I think like anything else, just like when HD TV was coming out, I remember it was supposed to be come out in 2000, and originally everybody had to be broadcasting in HD. HD didn't get finalized until almost 2010. So I think
Is
it's
that-
like one of those things with the manned aircraft. They'll say a date and they'll keep extending it out for another 10, 15 years to where every aircraft has it,
Oh, Jesus,
helicopter,
Tim.
whatever. And stuff. Like I say, it's a piece of equipment that some people are going to upgrade to.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I want to say when Kobe Bryant's helicopter got in that crash, I want to say the reason why they weren't entirely sure exactly what happened was because it didn't have that system in there. I
I know
remember
it didn't have-
something about that.
No,
Yeah, I
the
think-
the freaking radar.
Yeah, I agree.
tracked it.
That was because of their more wrinkle. They were flying in dense fog.
But I remember
conditions.
something saying that that particular helicopter didn't have a certain system in it where they
Yeah,
were
it
able
was-
to get
it
all
was,
the
it
data
Probably
to
didn't.
really
It probably
figure
didn't
out.
have it probably didn't have the ground detection stuff on it.
Right.
I don't remember what it was, but I remember it was some type of system they said that not all helicopters are equipped with because
Right.
it's not a requirement.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, his particular helicopter didn't have that in there. And that's
Right.
why they never were really exactly what
Mhm.
happened. I mean, they kind of know,
You know
but
how
there's,
you know how
you know.
expensive those ground following radars are to put on a plane.
yeah,
Yeah.
but when you're a fucking basketball player worth 100 million, you
Yeah,
think
it
you'd
wasn't
have
Well,
his
that.
like you say,
helicopter,
you know, it wasn't his helicopter. It was a service he rented or whatever else, and you jump on
Kobe.
it, whoever.
I don't think.
Yeah, that was a
I
sad
mean,
crash.
let's face it. Do you think drone versus airplane is really a problem? How many incidents have we had that I'm aware of? One, and that was in Los Angeles with that
Yeah, with
guy
the
who
sheriff's helicopter.
The sheriff's helicopter
Right.
flew in.
You know what's so funny is when they took the fucking SD card off the thing. He was sitting in front of his car with the license plate of his car in the picture going.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
I was like, oh my
It's
god, you couldn't
so-
ask for a
but,
worse.
but you know, that's literally the only one that I'm aware of where it's a aircraft versus a drone collision that has occurred.
Yeah,
I
well,
feel it.
that's what a lot of
Yeah,
people
so-
go by. You know, not just here in America, across the globe. Is, you know, what's the safety record, and our safety record is very good for our
And
drone
that's what the
operators.
FAA is looking at, right?
Yeah.
Is that
Well, like I say,
so-
as we've found out lately, it's not always about safety issues. It's more about, like everything else. It's the bureaucrats who I'm just looking for a better word for it. Not better word, but the proper word for it. Basically, the guys who basically go put money in politicians' pockets. I can't think of the term.
Yeah.
for it.
Mm,
Excuse me, I can actually tell you there's a song for this moment. It's all about the money, money, money.
Yes.
Ah,
And just like down in
yeah.
Florida, it got exposed down there that Skydio and a couple other manufacturers were trying, getting DJI banned purposely, not because of any safety issues, not because of this false narrative of information being transmitted. That's all been debunked.
Well, they're using the turmoil between us right now as an advantage to do some fear mongering, right?
Right. That's
Yeah.
all it's always been is fear mongering. And like I say, DJI has put out a report showing that information from individual pilots in whatever country they're in, that information stays in that country. It doesn't
Well,
get
and there's
transferred
been
outside.
independent computer or what do you want to call it?
Yeah,
Security
basically a
network
data store-
companies
Right.
that
Data
took their
storage
stuff.
facilities. Right.
that have actually took their code and ran through it and haven't never found anything nefarious in it.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. So, they can't say, we want to ban this or that because of
Well, what
safety
the hell's
issues,
your
'cause our safety
drone?
record is great.
Well, what the hell's your drone looking at that you can't go on fucking Google Earth and look at?
And that's the second argument. Everybody,
yeah, that's
everybody and their
that
mother
piece.
got it.
That piece
Has
is
a cell phone, and we go everywhere, all the place. Most of us got some kind of tracking software on our cell phone, so we can keep an eye on the kiddies and grandkids and everybody else in our family. So everybody's tracking everybody anyway.
I mean, if they want to just be honest and say, well, we just don't like the Chinese and we don't want their shit in the country. I mean,
Right.
just be
So-
honest and come out and say that's what it is. 'Cause that's what
Jerry,
it comes down to.
the real risk, and I spent the last 5 years of my military career downstream from on the CERT teams, downstream from the NSA. And the real security risk, and this
Oh,
is the
wow,
part,
Corey. I remember that.
this is the part that's not being said. The excuses they're throwing out there is not really helping their case. The real risk is this, because they're a Chinese company, the CCP can come in and make them push anything on that software or that firmware that they want that potentially could turn the drones into
And
weapons.
yes, that is always a possibility for sure.
And there's not a damn thing. There's not a damn thing that any of us can do about it. So the
Right.
real actual security threat, that is a real security threat, is that the Chinese government tells DJI to do something that would be a problem.
Well, along
And
that
that one is a real threat.
Well, that's
Yes.
what they need to do is just be honest and say,
Right.
we
That's
don't
that's
trust
my
the
problem
Chinese
with it.
government and this is why we don't trust them and
And-
just make that case.
And just to tell you, Justin, Mr. Frank, even as big as DJI is, you know how many billionaires in China have like disappeared and gone through retraining? He ain't gonna tell them no,
Right.
Yeah.
because he'll end up dead somewhere.
Well, I'm
if
just
he
saying
does.
on that same line is, and people talk about our utility companies and stuff. We don't have a government utility company. Most of our utility companies are privately owned.
Private, yeah.
Right.
And like I said, and how many in the last couple of years have been hacked?
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Remember when the
for sure.
pipeline got shut down?
Right. So I'm
For like
just
a
saying that
week or so?
you're talking about a drone can be hacked to a government entity. We already had utility companies already being hacked and held hostage.
Yeah, but in this case, we know what that risk is for almost anything that's computerized, right? In this
Right.
case, like I said, the risk is that the Chinese government comes in and tells them
Yeah.
to do something.
Well,
That,
and that whole-
that's the
Yeah,
real
no.
security risk.
You know what?
Well, we'll see ya.
Okay,
That's
Mr.
a-
All right, later,
President.
Hodges.
Yeah,
Now,
I gotta go pick
now-
up some plywood, so we'll see you guys.
Good luck with that.
Catch you later. What
now
the
I would
hell?
argue, Dre, what the hell would they do with it? I don't know, but I
Right.
will tell you, the Ukraine war ain't helping us.
Right. I just want to
No.
The
point
things
something
that
out.
they're doing over there with consumer drones
Right.
is not being
But once
friendly
again-
for us in any way, shape, or form
Yeah,
as far as
but guys-
proving that drones aren't a risk.
Yeah, well,
This-
go ahead, David.
Yeah, just in case there's any government officials watching here,
Yeah.
Mhm.
don't need to worry about the Chinese and the drones and the mobile phones and that, because everybody goes out for a Chinese meal, and they're the ones you've got to watch.
Exactly.
Sleeper cells.
Watch out for the fortune cookie. Well, I was going to make the point of that, Ukraine war is showing another side of the potential of it, but they are deliberately arming these things.
Yeah, no,
the
agreed.
average user here in America is not putting a grenade on it. You know what I'm saying? So if the Chinese government is taking it over, whatever, while you're flying, okay, you crash into a 100-foot power line, which the drone will get more damage than the power line will.
Well, oil facility, crashing into oil facilities or
And
whatever.
that's what I'm
I
saying. We're
agree.
talking
It
about-
would be hard. It would be
Yeah,
hard.
it would be hard unless you're talking about a decent sized drone, which basically is going to be something that's in the 40 to 50 pound range, which none of us are flying on a regular basis. Then you talk about we talk about this kinetic energy hurting people on the category 1. Now you need to have a decent sized drone to actually cause some damage
Yeah.
to be
I think
more
you've just got it
catastrophic.
right there, Dre, because you see all these videos that are out there, and most of them where they're trying to use a DJI Mini or a
Yeah.
Mavic or whatever, they're fake. Because there's not a hope in hell's chance on this earth that one of them drones is going to pick up a missile and take it that far into the war zone and then be able to drop it.
No,
with
they're doing like small
accuracy.
Well,
they're doing
that's what
small
I'm
like
saying, David,
grenades and stuff.
This
You-
is
you-
stuff
you
that
know,
they're using little
it's the
little
same
personal
though.
grenades and stuff.
Yeah.
I'll be surprised that them drones cannot carry the weight of a proper grenade.
Did you guys and everybody in this chat should understand this, right? That whole drone over the Kremlin thing. Did you guys see the video of that? And did you see how
Oh, but if you
freaking
know,
that
you have
drone
the
was
video
what?
clip?
Maybe the drone was what? Maybe 4-foot wingspan or something. I mean, it was a freaking tiny
It's
thing.
not a Mini 2.
Yeah, it's like they couldn't have flown that thing from Ukraine to the Moscow if they wanted to. I
Right.
mean, they had to fly it from the suburbs.
do you
Did you
have
not
that
have
video
as
clip,
small
Rod,
as
so we
that
can see
thing
it?
was.
Serious question now, though. What if you had Alienware technology on it?
Exactly.
But I was just like, ain't no way that came from Ukraine unless they launched it from the suburbs of Moscow. That thing was way too small.
Well, oh, because I mean, what is it, a wing style plane, drone?
Yeah,
Because Dustin
it was-
Dunhill took that fucking parrot wing and went like 30 miles with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
30,
parrot
40
wing,
miles
yeah.
with it.
they've been
Yeah,
using the
say that, right?
Alibaba ones, but you're talking
But
like
not-
500 miles from Ukraine to Moscow.
I think
so-
No, but they could have been 30,
300
40 miles
kilometers.
outside of Moscow. Though they could have snuck
They
in.
could have launched it from inside Russia. Yep.
Yeah, but you've got
and here's
Right.
the other thing. You know how much anti-aircraft that they put up in Moscow after the stuff started
Yeah.
showing up in Russia?
But just to
Yeah.
point out as well, how the hell did they get into Moscow or anywhere near Moscow? Because
They
that
shouldn't
whole
have.
border
Shouldn't
is literally, if that's come anywhere from Ukraine, it's Russian insiders that are in support
Well,
of
it
Ukraine,
could be.
or, and I think
That's why everybody
we're gonna
knows
hit
it
the
was
nail
an
on the head
inside
now.
job from Russia.
Well,
Yeah.
just to
Everybody in
give
the
y'all a
intel all
little-
knows it was the
yeah,
Russians
this
that
is the
did
nail
it
on the
for their own
head.
purposes.
It was Russian propaganda. They just launched a drone up and shot it down with a little laser pen.
They're looking for a reason to do a mass call.
Well, it's
up
called
and
a false
convince the
flag
country that
incident.
they should
Yeah,
do it.
it's a false flag.
Yeah.
Yeah, false
I
flag
mean,
incident.
It is so
just
bloody
address
obvious.
what
that
Dave
it's
was
false
talking
flag.
about and the stuff about small aircraft. Radars aren't going to pick it up if it goes above maybe about 100, 150 feet, whatever the case may be, maybe 200 feet. And I say something that small wouldn't show up on radar anyway, unless it's been deliberately tuned for something that small. When we talk about a parrot, not what's called a disco or parrot, that you
Yeah.
can fly extended the distance, those things are made out of styrofoam. So guess what? They're not detectable on radar either. They're made out of styrofoam. But the kicker is if it would have hit something, because it is made out of styrofoam, it wouldn't have done anything.
I mean, if you look
Yeah.
at the explosion, I'm not so sure that it wasn't, I don't know what it was, because it wasn't a big fiery thing. It was kind of a
No.
big white cloud of smoke. It's like they
Hey,
put
Mark,
white,
am I
it's like they
lying?
put white phosphorus in the thing to make a show.
Who's get,
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, like Justin said, I think it's more of a false flag scenario to justify whatever they continually to do.
It,
Just like they saying that
Well-
all these civilian
it's
targets.
a,
that have
it's a
been hit.
joke. Anybody who knows anything about drones know that look at it and go, "Ain't no
Well,
way."
and I could be wrong about this, but didn't we, whoever the president was at the start of the Vietnam War, wasn't that considered a false flag to start that whole
Yeah.
campaign?
I think
Uh,
that's actually where
both
the
Depends
sides
first
of
upon
it.
who you
Both
talk
sides
to,
of it.
Justin.
Depends
Well,
upon
I-
which political party you're talking to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they talk about the what was it, the Gulf of Tonkin incident?
yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
To whatever else. But the thing is here, people don't realize we were already in Vietnam back in the 50s
Yep.
initially. You
Yeah,
know, right towards it, we were wrapping things up in Korea. We were already in Vietnam
Yeah.
trying to help the French out a little bit. And then when the French bailed out, that's why we were already there with advisors on the ground trying to train up the local militia. I can't call it an army yet. It was militia, and trying to advise them. And we were doing things like spotters and training and all that kind of stuff. So when 1964 came around, it was, I mean, that was just the official, official statement of we're going into Vietnam. We'd already been there 5-6 years earlier.
oh yeah, exactly.
This era.
Um,
Just
I
think
would-
And here's the
Yeah, I got it.
here's the
It's
other
already
part
in there.
about it being an obvious false flag.
can we just
So-
ask what flavor you got? Because we all would like a slice.
So the Russians come out
Yeah,
and
if you're
said
gonna
it was,
share it.
yeah, the Russians come out and say it was assassination
share
attempt on Putin.
Yeah.
Everybody and their brother knows that Putin's not in the Kremlin. He's actually in his thing out on the west side of Moscow. So
Mm.
really, it was assassination attempt on him in the middle of the night when everybody knows he's not actually going to be there.
Yeah,
If
but
it
like
was the
I say,
Ukrainians, they would have done it in the middle of the day when he was going to be there. It was no assassination attempt. That's a complete
Yeah.
bogus story the whole way around. Nothing
it's
about
like,
it.
it's
makes
like
any
anything else, you know. It's gonna add fuel to the fire. Who those who want to believe
Yeah,
Ukraine
exactly.
did this, and those who like ourselves who are skeptical look at more reasonable facts. Some folks, that's all they need is something to say. Oh, Ukrainians did this, and we're gonna keep supporting them.
Yeah, they brainwash that society over there, so it makes them vulnerable to believe in bullshit like that.
Yeah. And like I say, people don't remember Russia's already had their Vietnam when they try to go to Afghanistan.
Yep.
So that's why the population is not really excited about this war, because they remember what happened in Afghanistan. That's only basically the mother and fathers of these kids. They're trying to force enlist and conscript them or whatever. They're the generation that was in Afghanistan. They know how that went,
Oh,
and they don't want to see their children go through the same thing.
Yeah.
And I could answer Tim's question. How can a drone pull a pin out of a hand grenade? Well, if you set it on a one of those release mechanisms,
Yeah, the
that you
release
put on a
mechanism.
drone, and it
Yeah,
drops,
release the
I was going
you
to
could
tell
tie a
Sam,
string.
it's just like having a bidet.
Well, you could tie a string to the pin, and as soon as the grenade drops, it just yanks the pin out as it's dropping.
Yeah, exactly. The more interesting ones, the videos of the grenade guys, those guys have gotten really damn good at dropping those things, because it's not like it's not like they have the flight characteristics to be dropped from up there. So they've gotten pretty good at being able to drop those things. But the ones that I actually find a little more interesting is what they're doing with the FPV drones. Started sticking C4 on it, flying it at a door to blow it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be the way.
It's just wicked.
Well, I've
That's-
seen police
That's what you
departments.
call, as they say, homegrown switchblade drone.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen
Mhm.
police departments here in the US use like tiny hawks and stuff inside houses
Right.
to look for suspects.
But my thing is, with the tiny hawks and they're loud. So they're like they're stealthy. They're loud.
Oh yeah, for sure. I
Yeah,
don't
so
think
you
they
know
really
it's
give a
coming.
shit if they lose it though. It's just to really get a
Yeah.
quick view on somebody.
I'll just tell you that we have a God. I don't even know the name of the weapon, but it's the new squad. It's the new squad weapon thing. That sucker has timed fuses in it. So in the past, you used a 50 cal and you tried to shoot through the walls to shoot the guys inside of a building.
Mhm.
With this new weapon, you don't shoot through the walls. You shoot through the window, and the time fuse goes off when it goes through the window.
Wow.
Yeah, we got some nasty, wicked shit that would be. Obviously, you got to get close enough to be able to shoot it with that. Be in range, a couple of 1,000 meters. So obviously, an FPV drone is going to be a little better because you'll have a little more range. But yeah, we have the weapons like that already.
Right.
I've-
Can I
I've
just
seen 'em.
interject something here?
Go ahead.
Right, Tim, you're always moaning about the people on the panel not talking. You always keep going on, right? All be quiet now, all talk now, and all this. Now we're all talking and we're talking over each other. You're still not happy.
Exactly.
What's your problem, mate?
It's like a damn woman, I swear. Never happy.
Yeah.
Justin, you go get your slice yet?
Oh yeah, I got some thin crust pepperoni. But again, Tim's gonna complain if I eat on camera, so.
Exactly.
So, anyways, Jerry, that's my problem with what they're saying about the drone thing. It's so obvious that what they're saying from the security risk standpoint is not actually the real risk. And
Right.
it's just like would y'all just please just
Well, I mean, if they were just honest
the
and
real-
said it could be an issue if the Chinese government stepped in and decided to force DJI to do something, that would be actually a reasonable argument. If that's what they
people?
wanted to go
I don't
off
know
of.
that people here would understand that because the U.S. government can't come in and tell the company go do this.
And that's
The
about to
company
bring
can
that-
give
I was about
them
to
flip
bring
them
that
the
up, the
bird and
fact
tell
that,
them go away.
We have so many companies or companies we do business with that is out of China for a lot of our goods and services. So what's the U.S. government going to do? All of a sudden say we can't buy anything from China?
Yeah, I know. I hear you.
Mm.
And that
Anyways.
would just definitely wreck our economy, probably half the global world economy. If America doesn't do business with a certain country, it affects almost the whole world.
Oh, it trickles down to every
I'll be
country.
back.
Every country feels the effect. That's, whenever the US economy has any major shift, whether it's in the stock market or anything, everybody
Right.
feels it.
Yes. So that's what I'm saying about, these bans against one drone company doesn't make any sense. Like you said, we have phones, we have other drone manufacturers who get their internal parts from China manufacturers. So I'm like, okay, you assemble it here in the USA, but where all the chips come from?
But like here in the US, if say something happened in Britain, like they had some kind of collapse in one of their economical parts of their society, we probably as a normal American wouldn't even bat an eye at it. We wouldn't really notice the effects of it. They might say we would, but you really wouldn't. But if when our housing and our banking entire system about collapsed in 2008, everybody around the world felt that.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like that was
Hey,
a big.
Dan.
What's up, Dan?
He's getting a little testy. Can we talk in politics? And I tell Dan, just stick to messing with motorcycles. Since he didn't want a hot rod one up, I suggested to him.
Tim said, "Oh, David, you need a hug."
You're okay, Tim. I'm just concerned about you bitching. You must be on the blob or something because, God, you're at it in the chat.
Well, he didn't take his mud all today.
Yeah.
Wow. I would say that was a gut punch.
Yep.
Yeah, because if we don't say nothing, he'll be like, "Not everybody talk at once."
Mhm.
But then if
And
we
then
all
we
start
all talk at
talking,
once.
yeah, he gets
Don't
pissed.
talk all at once. Can't win.
Oh, well, we'll all talk at once on Matt's show tomorrow.
We do love you, though, Tim.
Moderately.
Well, is Matt going to be on tomorrow?
We'll see.
Okay.
You think he's all high and mighty that he just comes on when he
Hey,
wants to,
Jen.
everybody come
Bill.
flocking to his show.
I'm
I'm
back.
pretty sure last week he said he would be on this week. If I remember correctly.
Wins in the chat.
I had to go
Got a
get
new battery
this.
for the Mavic 3.
Yeah, I ordered, hang on. Oh, come on. You silly camera.
You gotta turn your back
Trick
around now.
there.
There.
3 batteries.
3 batteries. Yeah. You know, I didn't order it with the Flymore kit, and I'll tell you why. And I also didn't order it with the RC Pro because I knew I was going to use the goggles. So there's not the goggles will give you a much better view than the RC Pro. I don't care, 1,000 nits, whatever. The goggles are going to be a better thing. But one, I never use their charger because it charges is in sequence. It doesn't charge them all at the same time. I always buy an aftermarket charger that can charge all the batteries at the same time, kind of thing. So it's like I'm not going to use the charger. I never use the bag because I always like to have a hard case to have my drone in. So I'm not going to use the bag. I'm not going to use their charger. And it was like, okay, well, there's no point in buying the Flymore kit when I'm going to throw half of it out anyways. So I just ordered the batteries and the charger separate for it, kind of thing.
How much does each battery cost for that?
$209.
$209.
It's $6 cheaper than my Evo 2 Pro.
Hmm.
They're $215.
Wow. Okay.
So
I don't get upset about 209 when I'm paying 350 a shot.
well, yeah, exactly. That's 300 for those big ones there.
How much is it for
350?
the for your M30?
350 each, and you got to buy them in pairs.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, I would have figured they were more than that. I would have figured around 500.
Well, when you buy a pair, you get an invoice for $700 bucks some change. You know you bought some batteries.
You know how many
Oh.
mini 2 batteries I could buy for that?
I could buy a mini 2 just for the batteries.
and my memory cards. 256 gig Samsungs.
It recognizes that high?
Yeah, for sure.
I think it does up to 1 terabyte, doesn't it?
Yeah. The new one
Okay.
I sure goes that
And
high.
then the Cine actually has the 1 terabyte SSD in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, built in
Yeah.
it, yeah.
You know, ironically, the port for that SSD is probably in the Mavic 3 Pro. The
Yeah,
non-city
Dan, but you only
version.
get like a minute and a half of flight time.
Don't get him started, Justin.
Yeah.
On what?
You-
The
you-
Inspire
No,
you
3?
make
no,
Dan
he was
go back-
talking
go
about
back
the
in his
FPV.
kitchen and start formulating a new formula for battery power. He'll come out with a 25-minute FPV battery before you know it. It's
I mean,
either
honestly,
the
you would
battery
think-
either work or you'll blow up half the block.
Honestly, you would think by today's standards, though, or by today's technology, they would actually have batteries that could last that long.
I would have thought so too by now for the FPV community. They would have developed some batteries that would last at least 20 minutes.
Like, it just seems like battery technology just ain't keeping up with the rest of it.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
like I say,
true.
it's-
Battery technology is an area that is for everybody is coming. And this is the charger. It's a YX. This is actually fancier than their old versions. It's computerized and
Mhm.
it has there's a switch right here
Right.
for storage mode. So you
Oh,
can
okay.
leave the batteries plugged in and it
Right.
will, when they drop down, then it'll
It
charge it
automatically
back
kick 'em
up to
back
60. It'll take them back to 60%, only 60%.
Yeah. I think I got one of their, is that their brand? I got one from my old Phantom. I got like 2 of those.
Yeah, it's YX is the,
Yeah. I think I have one from my Phantom's YX
Yeah.
brand.
it's the same one I have for my Evo 2 Pro batteries. And then for my Light and Nano, I forget the brand on them. They're white. But anyways, I always buy those aftermarket chargers because they charge all the batteries simultaneously.
You're right. That's why I, got the
End
aftermarket
of story. I mean, the Flymore, they are shipping the Flymore kit with the Pro is coming with the 100-watt Enterprise charger, but that's still
It still does it.
it's still in sequence, one battery at a
Sequential, yeah.
time kind of charging
Sequential,
thing. And
yeah.
it's like, so that's why I ordered 3 extra batteries. Obviously, there'll be one with the drone. So that gives me 4. So this charger is rated at 150 minutes.
Mhm.
So you're looking, what, hour and a half? Well, whatever it is.
Yeah, I bought a portable.
2 hours. 2 hours and
Charger.
something. So I should be able to just like continuously fly the entire
Yeah, I
time
just like, you know,
with 4 batteries.
that's what I do with one of mine. I have a portable charger. I can plug the battery charger in the vat, and I finish the battery, let it cool down, plug it in,
Yep.
and keep rolling.
I carry my EcoFlow River Pro with me.
Hmm. Yeah.
So I could charge all day long and fly all day long.
Yeah.
So in my Avata, I actually have 5 batteries.
In your dreams. Yeah.
I have 5 batteries and actually 2 extra batteries for the goggles. Not that I've ever needed them.
Oh, for sure, Dan. I've seen people say they can get that out of FPV if they're doing the long range stuff.
Yeah, if you're going easy on them, you can get what 6-7 minutes. I think.
He's saying you can get up to 20 minutes on some of them. It just depends on what you're doing with it.
Yeah.
And like I said, I've seen Marcel get pretty long range on his too. On his FPV quads.
It's amazing how much power flippy floppies take.
Well, it's you would think like by today's technology standards, bro, you'd be able to put a battery in a fucking drone and fly 3 days straight on it. You would think, but
Yeah, but you have to
it's just
remember
not there.
you have to remember those ESCs are not digital like a computer, and you can just do a die shrink and get more out of them. They're still copper bound coils, right?
Mm.
So there's only so much efficiency that you can get out of that. I mean, it's brushless, so there is that, but I don't know that you can make them any more electrically efficient than they already are.
Well, just like I said, it just doesn't seem like batteries have really made that huge leap
They
like
haven't.
other stuff has.
Yeah, they haven't. So they're now just coming out with the LiPo FEs.
Yeah,
which
I
if
got cold.
those can actually hold more charge and be charged more times than the regular LiPos. So we're going to get a big leap in longevity of those batteries. And the other thing is that battery tech that is coming, and I just read this article about a week ago. Samsung has some new battery tech in the way that they put the cells together that actually gets them 10% more capacity in the same size, or you can make the battery 10% smaller and have your current capacity. So that may come out with the S24 next year, maybe. If not, it will for sure be in the S25. So there is that battery tech coming for the cell phones.
It's just like the government, right? Think about what these companies have behind closed doors
yep,
that they're perfecting. You know, Duracell could have a fucking AA battery in their R&D department that could run your damn, whatever for 5 years. They just don't want to release it, or they're just not ready to, or whatever. I mean, we just don't know what. these
Yeah, I
companies
don't know.
have.
The laws of physics still drive a lot of that. So
Well, I'm just saying in general, like there's stuff behind closed doors that we haven't seen that they're probably working on, and pretty cool stuff.
oh, you mean the nuclear powered aircraft triangle that's flying around that nobody
yeah.
knows about?
TR3B Manta Ray. I want some of that shit. I tell you.
I just say put a small nuclear reactor in your drone, and you'd be good for at least 20 years.
Yeah, yeah, I'd
A
love
little
that.
double, AAA size little nuclear rod in the middle of it. You'd be good
Yeah,
to go.
triple
Yeah,
A
well.
nuclear reactor.
Now, if you happen to do a flyaway and it hits somebody's beamer and causes a small nuclear reaction, then that's
Oh yeah,
another
well,
problem
Well,
in itself.
when they get nuclear ones, you won't have to put strobes on them. They'll just glow.
yeah.
Probably true.
And on top of that, you won't want to be too quick on pressing that return to home button.
Exactly.
And you bloody Brits over there are doing pretty good with working on fusion
Oh my God,
reactors.
Dan.
Yeah, working on pretty much on the cold fusion.
I mean, if you could
Well-
make a viable, safe nuclear powered vehicle, I mean, that honestly would be the way to go. If like, you know, you didn't have to worry about it fucking blowing up in a car accident or something like that.
Eventually
about it.
we'll have fusion nukes. Right now they're gigantic to produce it, but you
Mm.
know, in 100 years, I'm sure we'll be able to have a nuclear powered thing that can fit in your hand that would power a car. So
And
Have
don't
you seen
forget
the-
the flex capacitor.
You seen that new
Yeah,
B-21 Raider? Oh, that thing's badass looking.
Yeah. I'd love one of those.
That thing is something else, I'll tell you what.
now stop and think about this. We're showing that. Think about what we got that we're not showing.
Yeah.
Well, it's like they
Things like
almost have to
complex and
because
everything.
it's gonna, you know, some of these jets and stuff, they're just, at some point, they are gonna be in the public eye, so they kind of have to. I'll
You,
tell
you
ya.
do know that we've already flown the 6th gen fighter, right?
Oh, that doesn't surprise me.
We literally built it, we designed it and built it in a year and flew it in 12 months.
Yeah.
It's already one version has already been flown.
I mean, look how badass the F-22 is. I mean, that thing's something
Yeah.
else, man.
I love that.
F-22.
I love that thing.
That thing is just not the fact of just the technology in it, the aesthetic look of that plane is
Oh,
just
definitely.
badass.
After
That thing
seeing that
just
up
looks
close,
fucking mean.
yeah, after seeing that up close, it is magic.
Yeah, that thing just looks like a fucking just monster in the air, like it would just fuck
Yeah.
shit up.
Actually, I read a story. I think it was an F-35. Not that, well, in the last year or so. Over near Iran. So Iran had one of their F4s, obviously one of our old F4s that the Shah had. And one of our F-35s came up and got underneath of him. The guy never knew him there.
No,
and he
that
came
was an
on, and they came on the
F-22.
radio and told him, I think you should go home.
No, that was an F-22 that did that.
Was that an F-22?
Yeah, he came up
Yeah.
in between the
Yeah.
two F4 pilots and pretty much told them it was a good idea if they went ahead and went home.
Yeah, exactly.
And they weren't sitting there messing around. They just fucking took off.
They had no idea that guy came up. when
Yeah,
was
because what he
sitting there.
did was, the story is that he flew behind them, got up underneath them. He was checking out their payload, and then
Mhm.
he came up in between them and pretty much told him, he was like, "You guys might as well just get the hell up out of my airspace, or it's gonna be done. You guys are gonna be gone. Not so many words, right? Like, just fuck
Yeah.
around and find out type attitude, right?"
Yeah,
Get on
exactly.
the FAFO.
Because
So,
all these countries that around the world that try to act all like, oh, Iran and North Korea, oh yeah, we'll kick everybody's ass, blah blah blah. Bro, you guys are flying jets from the 1960s. Get the fuck out of here. You ain't gonna do shit, dude. They'd wipe your Air Force out in a matter of days. Like, just
Days?
completely
it
decimate.
wouldn't even be days. It'd be like
Well, I'm just
24 hours.
I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt here.
Send a
I mean-
handful of F-22s over there.
I mean, look at what we
I'll
did to
find out.
Iraq. The fight went on for about 12 hours, and then like 29 jets flew from Iraq to Iran because they gave up.
Yeah.
It
That's
was,
what I'm saying,
it was
man.
over in less than 24 hours.
Iran, everybody was talking about Iran, dude. Iran get their asses handed to them in a conflict. Like, go ahead and try. Because, you know, the US fighter pilots are some of the, if not some of the most intelligent guys in the military. These guys are, you know, guys with degrees, and same with Navy
well,
SEALs.
you know
Navy
who's going to take
SEALs-
Iran? You know who's going to take Iran out, right? It's not going to be the US. It's
Mm.
going to be the Israeli Air Force. And if you think
Well,
our
that-
guys are, and if you think our guys are good, trust me, the Israeli Air
Yeah,
Force
Israeli
is
pilots.
probably one of
Yeah.
them that may actually be better than us.
Well, then
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, you know, you always see in these movies, they portray, oh, special forces guys are just a bunch of dumb grunts running around. But no, a lot of these guys have like nuclear engineering degrees and shit.
Oh,
Like these guys,
100%. Those guys are some of the smartest
Yeah.
guys on the planet.
yeah, these are the guys that can learn a language in just a few days because they're that smart. Like you can't
Mhm.
just get into these. You can't be a
You
fighter
mean-
pilot or be some type of Navy SEAL without some kind of intelligence.
So the serious question is, does this mean you've actually managed to clone Sheldon Cooper?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's a bit of a pansy though. It would be Sheldon Cooper, but with like Terry Cruz's body, right?
Just
Like,
remember, he does have alternative Sheldons, like comedy Sheldon, xenophobic Sheldon, and all them.
what I'm saying is like these guys aren't just dumb grunts running around. These guys are highly intelligent.
Mm.
Like I said, the US, like in order to be a fighter pilot, you have to score really high on the ASVAB. I'm talking about you
Yeah.
better be on the not top like 98 percentile to even get considered for that. And you're gonna go through a shit ton of like our guys train, I want to say on average a couple hundred hours more than the next best, like the next most trained air forces do. Like we train hundreds of hours more a year.
You
than
know,
most
there's
Air
a
Forces do.
channel that I watch. His name is Ward Carroll. You should watch it. He's a former F-14 Rio. And I love his stuff and some of the fascinating stories and intel and all that kind of stuff that he has. Anyways, he has a guy on who's actually from Great Britain who's involved in the defense intel industry as a consultant. And on one of the shows, he was talking about the Russian pilots and
Yeah.
the Russian pilots, the average pilot, if he's lucky, gets 8 hours of flight time a month, which is barely enough flight time to kind of remember how to take off and land the plane, let alone actually use the plane system. And the
Yeah.
other part of it is the allocation of the flight hours, instead of being for the whole hum guy in the squadron, goes to the squadron commander. So the only guys that actually have any sort of amount of experience at all are just the squadron commanders. And it's obviously showing with what's going on over there that they won't
Well,
bother
and it
sending their
is.
planes anywhere near any aircraft.
I've told people, I said, if Russia's considered the second strongest military in the world, I would never underestimate the US military ever again because they're an absolute shit show. The
Yeah.
US military, one thing that we excel at is logistics on a worldwide scale. Excel at it.
Yeah.
We are very good at moving.
We are the only
And-
country in the world that can move that much troop supply and ammo anywhere on the planet. Nobody else has that sort of capability.
No, it's a sea lift command capability. A
Mm,
lot of, and that's why I said, unfortunately, a lot of our allies, they have gotten a little comfortable over the years with the US military being the backbone of their military, that they've laxed on their own research and development, their own funding of their own militaries. And this is what this issue was brought up a few years back when Trump said, you guys aren't meeting your goals in the NATO treaty.
Mm.
You're not spending the percentage of your GDP that you're supposed to be spending.
yeah.
And
I
that was
know.
true. It's been an issue for years, even before Trump was around. That's been an issue. And that's because they've gotten so comfortable with us. I mean, it's not,
It's kind of
Yeah.
amazing. It's kind of amazing what's
fact.
happened with Russia attacking
Just so you're
Ukraine.
aware,
Now
it
they've
was
all
not.
changed.
It's not that we got comfortable with America being there. Actually, it was very even up to 2014 before Russia annexed Crimea. The fact of a war on the ground of Europe was considered extremely unlikely.
well, and that's what I'm saying though, but this, and I agree with you on that, right? But what I'm saying is with the US being in so many European countries, they don't really feel like they have to do as much investment because there is kind of an understanding around the world. Even China and Russia, you notice they don't fuck with countries that have US bases in them. If Taiwan decided tomorrow, hey, we want you to come set up a naval and military base in Taiwan, I guarantee you that would stop China in their tracks.
I
Because
guarantee
they-
it wouldn't.
Yes, they would.
Yeah, I don't
They
think that one
can't-
would. That would start the fight.
They could not afford to go one-on-one with the US. One, it would wreck their own economy because we're their largest trading partner. And I'm sorry, they don't have the logistics or experience to take on the US military one-on-one. You take
But
nukes out of
we
it
need
and
to go
they're
back to
done.
what we was talking about earlier.
Because numbers don't matter in war. It don't matter how many people they have.
But we need to go back to what we was talking about earlier. When you realize that, you know, the American planes were actually built with parts from Wish and AliExpress.
No, all US military planes parts are manufactured, built, and put together in the United States.
You know what, Justin? You're so easy to wind up.
No, that's one thing that we are very
Just say
proud
the
of.
military
When
commander. Can
No,
we get
I'm
it
just-
cheaper elsewhere? Well, we couldn't get it for $1.99 on Wish. How
Well,
long's
what I'm
the
saying, if there's
weeks?
one,
Go on then.
if there's one thing we do not farm out, we do farm out very little military stuff to other countries. But for the most part, about 98% of anything that's military based is manufactured, built, and put together here in the US with no outside interference.
We need a new missile system. Somebody check Facebook Marketplace.
Exactly. $50.
But like I said, I guarantee if you put a military base in Taiwan, it would stop China right there because they would not want to take that step. There are a lot of,
We're close enough being in the Philippines. We just opened all those bases in.
oh yeah, right on the tip of Philippines, like as far out as
Yeah.
we could go on the island.
Yeah.
Yep.
And just in case you all thought I was joking about searching for military items on the marketplace, yeah, let's look at this. Back in the day,
Yep.
Oh,
Trebuchet.
I'm so,
yeah, built in somebody's back garden in Basildon. Watch.
that's when you hear a crash 3 blocks over, somebody's front windshield on their car. That's exactly
was
what
funny
you would hear.
about that is he actually launched it into someone else's back garden.
He forgot to put the C4 on it, so it made a bang when it got
Exactly.
there.
There is actually a smash when you actually hear the sound, but I didn't want to put the sound on because there's a lot of swear words.
Here's the other thing about the whole
A lot of cussing.
Ukraine Russian stuff. You know, all that stuff that's being donated to Ukraine. You know how much of that stuff is just coming out of the stockpiles that is just old shit that was sitting around that we're going, okay, we'll hand it over. We still
Yeah,
got a
because we're just
gazillion
trying to get
tons
it out of
it.
inventory.
Yeah, exactly.
And not to mention the US uses wars like this to test new shit.
You know,
I'll say,
those javelins, the javelins and stingers and some of that shit that we sent over there, those were all things that were about to expire and have to be decommissioned anyways. So we just sent it to them. It's not the brand new stuff coming off the end of the line.
Well, and it was like they were talking about all the shit we left in Afghanistan, right?
Oh, yeah.
And this is the thing is what people don't realize is yes, we left a lot of military equipment there, but what the people don't realize is military equipment takes a lot for every hour that truck runs,
Maintenance.
it takes so
And
much
parts.
maintenance. And guess what? They can't get those parts because they're only available in the US. So how the fight? They're going to have either a bunch of really fucked up jerry-rigged ass trucks put together.
Yeah.
Or they're just not going to run after so many months because they don't have the parts to fix them.
Well,
And that's the
the
thing.
most important thing in the military is something that you mentioned earlier. It's about the smarts of the soldier, the experience of the soldier. They could have the best weapons in the world, but if they don't know how to use them, look at the Russians. They got some of the best planes and they got some really damn good planes, but because their pilots have no flight experience because they had no flight training time, they can't do crap. So
Well, that's what I'm saying. It all comes down to experience
training.
and logistics and knowing how to move and use tactics, all that stuff. Like, we need another. I wish Schwarzkopf was still around. You want to talk about a hell of a general that knew what he was doing during the Iraq War? That man, that was a good general right there. I was kind of sad when he died.
You know who came up with the left hook?
Oh, I know he used military tactics from
Yeah,
other.
he didn't. He didn't come
He didn't come up with it,
He
but
didn't
he
come up with the
understood
left
them.
hook. Yeah,
But
he
he
didn't come
was
up with the left hook.
no,
Yeah.
but he understood military tactics and knew how to properly
Yeah.
use them in the right time.
You know, we boil it down to 3 words: shoot, move, communicate.
Yep.
That's what we refer to it as in the military: shoot, move, communicate. That's the 3 things you got to do
Actually,
well.
he used a lot of tactics from the Nazis, to be honest with you. The blitzkriegs and all that stuff. That's where
Yeah.
he got some of that military tactics from. But
The
a lot of
entire world, the
people,
entire world has.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I know they weren't his own, but the man understood how to move his military. He had an extremely difficult task with that, with all the different armies that were there, that he had to also command because he was over all the other countries
Yeah,
that
it
were
was an
there too.
administrative nightmare.
And yeah, and so that's what I'm saying. So the man, for what he had to do, he did a hell of a job, and the
No
dude
doubt.
cared about his men. If that was one general that had a respect for the men under him, it was definitely him. Now that jackass that's in there now, fucking Millie, he needs to go on somewhere because he's a complete dipshit.
Yeah.
That's why I said I wish we had Schwarzkopf still, because he wouldn't be putting up with none of this crap. He wouldn't be letting.
No. We need MacArthur back, damn it.
Oh, well, for sure, Patton.
Or
Yeah.
Patton. Either one.
Oh
one of
yeah, if you
those
want to
two,
go really
either one of
old
those
school.
two.
We could go even further old school and bring back Kubla Khan and Attila the Hun.
But Millie is just a
Oh wait,
jackass.
let's
dude.
see here. Who was the British general from World War II? That was always competing against Patton. Who ran the Africa Corps? What was his name?
David,
Yeah.
The British general. God, why
British
did his
general.
name slip my mind?
I don't know.
Come on, David. You guys came up with generals. I know you're going to claim that. So come on. I know you know it.
Monty.
Monty Python.
No, not
Monty
Monty.
Python.
come on, Montgomery.
Montgomery. Yeah.
Oh, I can't think of you. Montgomery Burns. No, he's American. No. Excellent.
Bernard,
Churchill.
Bernard.
No, he was a prime minister.
Yeah, Winston Churchill.
Yeah, he's talking about generals. I don't think Churchill was never in the military, was he?
No, neither was Neville
No,
Chamberlain.
he was prime minister during
Yeah.
the war.
He was prime minister during the war.
Yeah. I know
Neville
that.
Chamberlain
But
was the
But
prime
what good
minister.
it-
when it started.
Montgomery is his last name.
Bernard Montgomery.
Bernard Montgomery.
Close enough.
Montgomery. Yeah, Montgomery was
D.
his last name.
you know who my favorite president was in history?
Mhm.
Dwight D. Eisenhower.
Yeah.
That was a smart man. If you ever watched his his address when he left, when he was no longer president, he made his address, his farewell address.
Mhm.
He actually saw the way the military industrial complex was going to end up, and he actually warned you in his farewell address.
Yeah.
He was a good president and a very good military man. I like watching his stuff. I watched a lot of his old addresses that he did to the country.
Trump, for all of his blabber, the one thing he did do as a military guy, the one thing that he did do that I loved was using our economic power instead of our military power to make things happen.
Was it Eisenhower? Which one was the only five? I think there was what, 2 5-star generals?
Yeah, Eisenhower was one of them. MacArthur was
think-
the other.
Yeah. They were the only 2 ever in history. I don't even think they have that position anymore. I don't even think it's possible to be one anymore.
Doesn't exist.
Yeah, Jimmy Carter wasn't too bad.
Peanuts.
Yep.
Nixon was a disaster.
Yep.
ridiculous. Raising the national school leaving age to 21. And the creation of huge numbers of new. And the proposal-
Clinton was a jackass. I didn't like him either.
Oh, he was a flag on a flagpole. Whichever way the wind was blowing was which way he was blowing.
He's the one that fucking opened all the bullshit to China too.
Yep. 100%.
Fucking what was it? What was the name of that bill he signed?
That started the whole globalization thing
Yeah.
and outsourced our jobs.
Yep.
Hey, we'll just retrain everybody to be smarter than they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look how well that has worked out.
Yeah, how's that going for you? Yeah, exactly.
You know, there's a certain part of the population that doesn't want to be a high-tech worker. They just want to be low-tech manual labor folks and are happy to be that way. And that's fine. And when you ship all those jobs out, what do you have for those people to do?
Mhm.
And that's the same question Mark Cuban keeps asking about automation and AI and everything else. He's like, you know, as we automate all these jobs away, what are all these people going to do in the future? It's a great question.
I don't know. I don't really like. I remember you talking about him a couple weeks ago. I'm not a big fan of Mark Cuban. Because-
I'm telling you, I'm probably not his biggest fan either, but that question is 100%
Oh yeah,
extremely
I've asked that
accurate.
question.
That is an extremely
valid.
accurate statement.
Oh,
Well,
for
you
sure.
gotta multiply that, Rod, by the fact that they're bringing in millions of people across the border that are unskilled too.
Oh,
Mm.
right. What jobs are they going to do?
Yep.
Exactly.
You know, the jobs they're going to do? They're going to do the jobs that the people that are from here don't want to do
Yep.
because they don't want to work hard.
And the ones that don't want to work are gonna be on welfare.
Yep.
Yep.
Exactly.
Well, and the let's face it, the people that come over here illegally, I've seen just as many lazy of them as I have
Who was that?
lazy Americans. So
Who-
don't.
Which
Yeah.
I hate
daughter
when
was
everybody
that,
tries
Justin?
to say that they're all hard workers. No, they're not. There's tons
Justin,
of them that
which-
come over here and live off of welfare. and don't
Which
do jack shit.
daughter was it that snuck up behind you? Oh, there you go,
Oh, that's Aubrey.
Aubrey.
But that's what I'm saying. Like I've seen just as many lazy people like that, and they're only willing to work because nobody's going to legally pay them $15 an hour if they
Sure.
can pay them under the table for $5 because they're illegal. So they just have to take whatever they can get. They don't have a
So,
choice.
so does she fly your drone?
No.
No, Aubrey,
Don't put
I heard
those in the
Dad
freezer.
say that if you're nice to him, he'll give you $15.
Oh, here, let me.
Sadly, she can't hear
Yeah,
us.
no, I'm gonna. Let me test one of those. Oh yeah, perfect. No. I'm just testing it, see if they fit them there.
Anyways,
here,
my
take that.
Mavic 3 Pro supposedly shipped yesterday. Well, they created the shipping label
Oh,
Tuesday.
great.
It shipped yesterday, according to UPS, out of Ontario, Canada, out of Ontario, California, out there by LA. And it just shows en route. So apparently the UPS truck, and it's going UPS ground. Apparently the UPS truck isn't giving any updates because that's the last update I have. It's like, hello, don't you guys like told us where the hell the truck was when it went past certain checkpoints? So it hasn't gone past the
Exactly.
checkpoint yet, but it's on the way.
Oh, that's good.
I was kind of hoping it'd show up here tomorrow. No, it's going to show up next Tuesday. It
Yep.
went-
You show them being dropped off in Ontario, or they just, that's where it just checked in at?
it checked in and checked out.
Okay.
I saw the
that's a large
go
hub.
in
Right.
record and the departure record.
Yeah, that's a large hub, so it might have been put on a flight or either truck out of Ontario.
It says UPS ground.
Yeah. Yeah, I say
So-
it's a large hub. It's, so you're,
So if it's
you're
going
married
ground from
three-
California to Florida, yeah, it'd take 5 days.
Yeah, like I say, it came out of Cerritos warehouse, went up to Ontario.
Yep.
And from there.
Yep. Let's see here. Let me view details. Shipment progress. So let's see here. Label created, origin scan, Ontario, California. Then it shows package in transit, Los Angeles, and then it shows departed Ontario.
Mhm.
UPS truck was hijacked.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know how I went from an origin scan in Ontario to LA and then a departure scan in Ontario. 11 minutes apart.
Wow.
Hold on. What are we
You told me
talking
it was going
about
on Terry. I could have picked it up
My
for you.
my drone.
here?
Ontario,
Oh,
California.
On-
Ontario,
Mavic Three
California.
Pro.
Ontario, California, not
Yeah,
Ontario.
Ontario, California is about
Ontario.
15 minutes from my house.
you have London. Isn't there a London, California too, Dre?
There's a London, there's a Paris.
Yeah.
We got everything out here.
So, anyways, it's on its way. I did when it's gonna. I was hoping it'd be here before the weekend, so I'd have something to play with over the weekend.
Yeah.
But no, it looks like it's gonna be next week.
So Dre, did Rod talk you into getting a Nevada?
No,
No,
Nevada has nothing I need.
I'm with-
for
I'm
he
with
right
doesn't
you.
have it. He doesn't have a use case for it yet.
now. That's
I'm
it.
with you, Dre.
Yeah, but Dre looks for it as a business standpoint, not fun.
That's it.
I'm telling you though, flying those ships with something like the Mini 3 Pro and the goggles and the controller would freaking be awesome to do. I'm telling you, you'd probably be able to get better video than you do now. You get great video now, but it'd be even better.
Too old for change, Rod. Too old for change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I really whack on everybody that poo-poos that freaking motion controller because my argument is, what do they fly?
Well, the
F-16s,
jacket.
F-22s,
Rod-
F-35s.
But Rod, how's a motion detector going to work like this? It's like
Just fine. Just fine because the software knows to ignore your jitters. It's literally just like fly-by-wire. You don't think a pilot flying an Airbus doesn't like mess
No,
around
they
with that?
don't-
The
they don't
computer's
have
still
the-
gonna.
They don't have the old man shakes. They're mandatory retired.
But you're saying it will compensate for small movements.
Oh yeah, it ignores small movements. It smooths it. It 100% will be smoother than anything that you can do with two sticks. End of story.
Now, what if you throw the controller at somebody?
It'll
Pisses you
quit.
off, you fucking-
It'll quit flying because you let go of the trigger. So it
All of
will
a sudden your
stop.
drone,
That thing will stop in like a foot if
all
you
of a
let
sudden your
go.
drone just goes ape shit and knocks somebody in the head.
Just don't do like Maverick did and hold the button and point your hand down while you're holding the button. Then you fly your drone straight into the water like he did.
Who did
Yep.
that?
The first South Florida drone meetup, that potato.
Oh,
he got
yeah,
potato in the
yeah.
water.
Yeah, Maverick. Yeah. I
Yeah,
remember.
Maverick.
He
Yeah,
was the one that
him.
was like, I'm Maverick, and then boom, right into the water. Actually, Dan was the one he was the only one that caught that on film. I remember that.
Yeah. But he literally put his hand down, but he kept holding the button. It's like, dude, let go of the button. The drone would have gone nowhere. You
And
can.
you know what the bad thing was is all the there was 2 or 3 FPV guys there. I think Dan was one of them. They were gonna hook him up with like a full FPV,
Oh, yeah,
a
yeah.
real FPV setup.
And
the
train
dude-
him.
The dude came around for a couple of times and then just disappeared and never got up with them. And they had a whole setup for him and everything.
Yeah, I know. I remember.
And Dan was like, "Yeah, the dude just disappeared, never showed back up. We couldn't get a hold of him."
Very funny,
Yeah.
Joe.
He showed up this year at the South Florida meetup.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Oh wow, because he
He
didn't
wasn't
come to
there the
last
entire
year's.
he wasn't there the entire time. So
Yeah, he didn't show up last year. So
he kind of showed up late, but he showed up. So anyways, that motion controller is freaking awesome to fly with. And you can do, trust me, you can at least the Avata, and I'm sure I can. I'll try it on the Mavic 3 when it gets here.
Joe,
You can snap that drone hard on a turn. You can make that thing do a 180 really bloody quick.
well, that's what I was telling people about the Spark, man. That thing.
In
was a
fact,
quick
I
little
could make
drone.
it do I could do a 180 better with the motion controller than I could with a regular controller, flipping the drone.
Like I got the Spark going one day in such a time that it started going like this to the ground. But
The
that
spiral of
thing,
death.
dude, the Spark. No, it was controlled, but
Oh,
as it was
okay.
going, it was coming
Yeah, you
down like a
corkscrewed.
tornado. But
Oh, right.
the Spark, when you put it in sports mode, that thing will turn on a fucking dime at full throttle. It doesn't fly nothing like Air 2 or any of the newer ones or any of the previous ones before it. And that thing has a very unique flight characteristics and it's fun to fly. Like by today's standards, like I said, the video's kind of shit. But if you
Mm.
just want a drone to just go out and fly like you would an RC plane and just whip around the park, it's a good little drone. It's a fun
And
little
here's
drone.
the other thing, and it's a limitation right now. And remember, this is the first version of the goggles with the Mini 3 and the Mavic 3, right? You can only take photos, you can only shoot in 4K 30, you can't use any of the special modes, any of that kind of stuff. But you know, when I was thinking about getting the RC Pro versus the RC, it's like, you know, when I go fly, if I'm flying video and just flying around to look at things, I'm going to fly with the goggles because you'll have zero issues with sunlight, seeing, depth perception, all of that
Oh
kind
yeah,
of
because you
stuff.
got that seal around your
Yeah,
eyes,
yeah,
so
yeah.
you're not gonna have
And
that.
so the places, the things that that you can't do with the goggles are things such as hyperlapses, panos. But you know what I find is when I'm doing hyperlapses or panos, where's the drone? Probably 75 feet over my head. It's not like it's not like that drone is out there some way. So it's not like I need the 4 antennas on the RC Pro in order to use those features that I can't use with the goggles. So
Well,
to
the only thing problem I see you having with the goggles is here in Florida with the humidity during the summer.
I
Those
flew the
things are gonna
Avata. I
suck.
flew the Avata. I flew the Avata.
You didn't get
You're
all
right.
sweaty.
You sweat.
That's the only problem I see you
DJI's
having.
get a foam set coming.
Because it's hard enough without goggles in the summertime flying here. You'd be dripping sweat.
It's 35 bucks and it's out of stock at the moment because they haven't started shipping them yet, but they have a $35 set of foam ones that
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
that you'll be able to get that will be a lot better.
That'd be your real only.
So it's coming. Yeah, it's coming.
Because like even flying, like I said, even flying in Florida during that humid summer with even no goggles, you'll have sweat getting in your eyes. You'll be dripping sweat. You'll be like, oh, fuck this. After one
Mhm.
battery, you're ready to go back inside. You're like,
Yeah,
"Screw
I
this
managed.
shit."
I was fine. For the most part, I was fine. I didn't have any.
Now, can you fly
serious
without your
issue.
glasses and not have no issues
Yes.
seeing? Okay.
That's the other advantage I like about the goggles too, is it's got the diopters and you can adjust
So
the diopters.
kind of readjust for your
You,
eyesight.
you can adjust it. So the Integras comes with these inserts that you have to put on. So if you want to swap your goggles with somebody, you may have to swap those inserts. And that's kind of one of the pain in the butt parts about the Integra versus having the goggles too, where you can just adjust the diopter on the goggles, so to speak. And I know everybody, the pain in the butt part about the goggles too versus the Integra is the Integra has the GPS built in. So in the goggles too, you actually have to have your phone or tablet plugged into the goggles for the remote ID thing to work. But
Mhm.
I'll just say half the time I have my Triple Tech tablet plugged into my goggles anyways, so that when I'm flying, people who come up can look and watch and see. I actually kind of encourage people to watch and sort of enjoy with me the flight. So it doesn't bother me having to have something plugged in for the remote ID to work on the goggles too. The other piece of it is, and one of the features that they took out of Integra that was in the goggles too is you can do wireless to the goggles too. So one of the things I've wondered is, could you, if you were using the RC Pro, this is when they were saying that you couldn't fly with the RC and the goggles. One of the things that I wondered about with the goggles too is, could you go wireless from the RC Pro to the goggles and sort of bypass the DJI software and just use the goggles? It's essentially in a broadcast mode. You're supposed to be able to like watch movies on those goggles off your phone and just wirelessly transmit to the goggles too. They ripped that component out of the Integras. The Integra doesn't have the wireless connection.
Hey, you know what's funny? It was my off topic of what you guys are talking about. When my son comes in the house, right? And
Yep.
he goes, okay. He said, I got my girlfriend a book as a present for the dance. Right? And he looks at me and he goes, in the end, it was only $4. I said, don't ever bring up the price of a gift to a woman. I said,
Yeah,
matter
you
of
gotta
fact, the
teach him
first,
that.
I said, the first thing you do when you buy him something is you take the price tag off of it.
Exactly.
Yeah, well,
You gotta teach him that.
I said, when you hand that to her, don't be like, yeah, it was only $4. I said, because she might look at you cheap, like you didn't get her the $8 one.
Justin.
Right?
Marcus responded back to all my comments I left on his flight video of info. I told him just call me. I love that setup. I love what you can do. So he just needs practice. Practice. By his 4th or 5th battery, he'll be down flying 2 feet
Gone.
off the ground. He was doing it just like Brad from Virginia was doing when I let him fly mine. When Brad took it up the first time, he took the drone up over top of all the trees and everything else to just kind of fly around. He was like, I don't want to run into anything. By the 3rd flight, he was down 5 feet off the ground, diving between the trees and the poles and everything else with the drone. You get comfortable with it as you get used to the goggles and sort of the motion controller and how to do it. By the 3rd, 4th flight, the motion controller makes all the sense in the world.
Okay, well, I gotta head out because I got heaps to do.
All right, Matt.
Oh, catch you later, Dominic.
Oh my God. It's way early in the morning, your time.
No, it's 8:30 a.m.
Oh,
Got a
got
couple
it.
of things to do.
He's
But at
getting
your
started
10.
on the day. Yeah, 12 hours the other way. Got it. Well, 14 hours.
14, yeah.
John said, player. No,
Yeah,
I told him, I said,
Dominic,
don't
you're
ever bring
9
that
hours
up.
ahead of us, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got the time right. If the parade starts
You've
at
got the time
10:20,
right. You got the time right, but I'll be putting that on a different screen because I've got other things to do Saturday night, so I can watch.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I only put the
I'll
times
see
up
you.
so people around the world would know.
Okay,
Yeah,
Dominic.
definitely. Okay. See you later, Justin. I'll get in contact with you at your 10 o'clock.
Oh, for the love of God, just go. Long
Yeah, I've got to do
goodbyes.
my life story. Okay, see you then.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Dominic.
Later.
See you on
Later.
another stream.
Yeah.
You know he's just going to somebody else's channel.
Who's on tonight?
He's a stream whore.
Actually, isn't BMAC on for a little bit tonight?
He's actually kind of random, to be honest with you.
I forget who
Unless
does
he started doing a
the-
more scheduled thing.
I forget who does the before herons thing. There's somebody.
That's Brett Ariels.
Oh, got it.
He does the hour before the hour thing. I got the list right here. It's what's today? Thursday?
Thursday. Yeah.
So you got Pixel Drone Show. I have no idea who that is. After Lunch with Gary. I have that is.
I don't know. Let me look at my subscriptions. should be
Tuesday
up
night
and-
studio sessions. Don't know who that is. Rotor Talk Live. I have no idea who that is. And then Philly Drone.
Yeah,
Most
Rotor
of
Talk
them,
is
yeah.
Bill the drone reviewer.
And then Philly Drone Life. Those are the only ones on the list for Thursday. So
Oh,
Thursday?
be
No,
careful,
that's
you're going to fall
Tuesday.
victim of Nightbot.
That's Tuesday. Rotor Talk and Mikey from Philly is on Tuesday. You're looking at Tuesday, not Thursday.
I think actually Dominic's doing the show tonight, Paul.
No,
He
it's
said-
it's your show, buddy.
No, Dominic's gonna go live on his show. I'm just gonna join.
He
him on
might go live, but it's going to be your show.
it. I'll be able to
Just look for a live
rebroadcast from
link.
his. Well, actually, I will be able to rebroadcast from his.
Anyways, I need to go relax.
Okay, guys. I
Maybe
think
go,
we're gonna
maybe go
close it
fly.
down.
So,
Well,
see-
catch
Oh,
you
wait,
later.
never mind. I was looking at Tuesday. Shit.
yeah, I told you were looking at Tuesday.
Yeah, Thursdays, hour before the hour, Dunafly, TNL, after party. So yeah, that would be Tammy Jean. She doesn't come on till 10:15.
I enjoyed that conversation with Dre. That was a good talk tonight.
Well, if Matt had anything to say about it, he'd say Dre was an amateur. Oh, him
Dre does the real work.
him and Dre always go back and forth. It's hilarious. Well, so Matt's actually, to be honest with you though, Matt's actually got into, so he was doing that movie production with the movie over in Australia,
Oh yeah,
and they
I'm
liked
sure
his
he's-
stuff so much that he's actually been doing a lot more with them, and that's why he's been having to cancel his shows so much over the last few months.
Great, good for him.
So, yeah, I told him, I said, you know,
Outstanding.
it'd be really cool if he got a full-time gig with them and was able to, quit doing the
100%.
trucking.
Why not?
Uh,
You know, don't you wish everybody had a job that they loved and
And you
liked?
never know, Matt
'Cause
could
they
get
would
his
do it-
foot in the
they
door.
would do it better.
Imagine if he ended up on like a movie set, like fucking, you know, something like, you know, a Batman movie or some big ass production like that. You know,
Sure.
you never know. You could
You
just
never
fall
know.
into a role like that and make 50 grand over a 6-month period doing drone footage, you know,
Sure. Anyways,
on a,
I'm
you
gonna
know,
take-
$100
I'm gonna
million
take off.
video. All right, we'll see you later.
See you
Catch
later.
you later, Rod.
Nah, I'm not going live that fucking late, Tim. If anything, that'd be when I'd be getting off.
Well, me and Laura are going to try and stay up as late as possible so we can sleep most of tomorrow. Because tomorrow night we're up at 2 a.m. now because our train is at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Why don't you just go to bed earlier? Like take
Because then you've got to guarantee that you sleep.
Okay, that can't be Laura, is it? Or is that her brother?
No, that's Laura.
Okay, because that just seems uncaring. She usually doesn't come in like that.
Or it might be her brother.
Yeah, that seems like something Mark would write in the chat. Although he doesn't have control of all our channels, just the
I'm
one,
not
right?
sure.
The little Llama Laura one.
No, I think he has control of that one as well. They're like a little tag team.
That doesn't tell me nothing, Laura. Nope, Justin, that's me. That could be Mark or Laura. That doesn't tell me anything. Hasn't proved nothing.
Nope, it's not Laura, it's Mark. Nope. it's
Yeah,
Mark.
that doesn't even tell me which one it is. That's just said, nope, that's just Justin, that's me. Yeah, that still doesn't tell me anything. That could be Mark using her catchphrases. Matter of fact, he doesn't even do nothing for her channel anymore. Why does he still have control? You need to take that away from him, Laura. He'd be doing that though on her show. He'll be logging into her account, coming in the chat. Although I do that on Sarah's too.
Oh, great. Who just messaged me? That was Laura texting me to say, it's me.
Yeah, I still don't believe it.
She's only 20 footsteps away, but she still had to text me.
Yeah, that's why I don't think it was really her. Might want to go check on her. She might be tied up in the room.
Oh, if that's the case, then I'll leave her there. Have a bit of a piece for tonight.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's interesting. They've just announced the turnout for the elections today. I know they're only local, but for our area, it was 25.35% of the voter turned out. That's very freaking low.
Shit, I just noticed I went way up in subs.
How much did that cost you?
No, I don't pay for subs. Well, my last video got a lot of views though, too.
But you know what that is now, don't you? They're all waiting there for you to do that gift thing, and they're all waiting there to click the link.
I'm not doing any more of those. I only did that last one because Laura was like really wanting one. So I was hoping she was gonna get it. But I told her, I said, if you don't get it this time, I'm not doing it again.
Not if it costs you money.
Well, I mean, it's not bad to do that because it can get people out there. And then they might be willing to take an extra month, or it is good. I would say to a certain extent, if you say one of those once a month or twice a month, just as kind of a thing for your audience, I don't see it
Yeah.
being a bad thing. It could be a good investment.
Yeah. Well, my biggest confusion would be, okay, you know, you've got your, you know, you're putting that out, but what happens to the money on that? Because you obviously paid $5.
Right, but it's
Are
just, it's a
YouTube
one,
actually going to give you your share back of that?
no, it's just a one-time thing. And they, at the end of the month, they can choose to re-up it under their own money. So it's just a one-time, one monthly thing. And then, like I said, they can decide at the end of the month if they want to keep the membership going or if they just don't want to. But like one of the memberships that was gifted actually wasn't from me, it was from Rob.
Right.
So other people can gift memberships as well. Like I said, I was in a membership where that guy gifted, what was it, fucking 25 or 30 memberships, and it was like $250. So I mean, it's perfectly capable. I mean, you'll get people that will come in and do shit like that. Like I said, Rob just randomly did it. I didn't ask him to do it. He came in the chat last night and all of a sudden he just gifted a membership. Like people will do that because it's a one-time thing. It's not like YouTube's going to charge you every month for that person's membership until you decide to stop it. It's just a one-time thing to give them a membership for a month.
Yeah.
But it does give them the opportunity at the end of the month if they want to re-up on it. But
But
it's
what
not
you should-
extremely expensive neither. I mean, you can go with the $2.99. That's in the US, that's like with tax, it comes out to like $3 something a month. $3.
Yeah, but what you should be doing is getting those people that have been gifted them to promote what you get. Make an incentive for them. You should make them all do your marketing material now.
Yeah, Tim, you're the only assassin, but there are quite a few cutthroats that are actually full-time members.
You see, that's the other thing you could have done, Justin. If they
So
bought
they're
the
the middle tier.
package, yeah, they get a wrench. If they buy the top package, they get the super wrench.
Well, actually, everybody that is a member actually has the super wrenches. So technically I kind of want to make it for right now, just kind of a point of how much you're comfortable supporting me, because I am going to use that money to put back in my channel, whether I need to buy a new gaming controller because one might have broken, or
Yeah.
if I need a specific computer part. That's what I'm going to use the stuff for to keep my channel going, right? So
Yeah.
like eventually I'd like to use, if I get enough money saved up through YouTube, I want to be able to buy 2 new monitors and a new computer chair and get something a little bit more comfortable. So that's the kind of stuff I'd be using it for the most part. Now, if I get to the point where I'm like some of these gamers that are making like 100,000 either a year, then obviously I'm going to be at home making full-time content to the point where I'm paying bills with it as well, right?
Yeah. So you're going to
But
be
but it's like I said, it's people's
Studio.
choices to do that.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to raise enough to build your studio and your customized chair. So when you get up, your gamer logos on it.
But like I've always said, I'm not a big fan of channels that ask for, yeah, no, I've already seen it. I'm not a big fan of channels that ask for money or support and then they don't really provide the content or using the money to further their channel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like like I support one other creator with a $3 subscription a month, and it's because he's trying. He's like me, right? He's putting regular content out. He uses them to replace or fix things he might need to help his channel. So those are the type of people I like to help out, right? Like or
Yeah.
like to see grow. And those are the people that I like to see other people supporting as well because they're actually putting an effort into their channel. They're not just sitting around asking for money and just using the money to go out and buy fast food for the night or go here and do this and that and they're not really providing you the content that you're wanting, right?
Well, don't want to mention no names, but there are a few channels out there that just they're making drama for no reason just to get money. Hey, Ron.
Daddy,
What's up, Rod?
oh man. Well, I'm ready to go bear hunting. My gun is sighted in.
All right.
I only shot it 6 times, but I shot Don's mule gun. My God, that thing. Oh, you ever shoot a 45-70?
Nope.
It's like shooting a 50 cal. That thing's powerful. It's a 400 grain bullet.
Oh, that's big.
Oh my, yeah. And
Because that one you
it
showed
just-
us earlier was only what, like you said 120 or something, or
168.
160? Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know, a gun like that, it's shot great at 50 yards. Do they want us to shoot at 50 and 100 for where we're going to be placed at? And I was in the bullseye and the bullet holes were touching in all 6 shots, and I'm happy with that. But Don's just were all over the place. Oh my God! So we got to come up with a new plan. He needs to change guns. So,
Well, is it all over the place because of the power of the gun, or is it just not sighted in?
I don't know.
Now, are you good at sighting in your own guns, or do you kind of need a little help on that? Because I'll
Nope,
tell you what,
nope.
I had back in the day, and I was not the best at sighting in. My grandpa used to help me actually do it a lot. Because there are some people that just aren't good at it, and there's people that are really good at it. You know.
You got to look at what they call your MOA. How many clicks per inch at 100 yards, and you adjust by that. You got to make sure you're going left or right or up and down, whatever.
Right.
A lot of people, they have no clue what they're doing. But I made one adjustment, moved 3 clicks,
What's up, TJ?
and done.
Laura's here.
Hold on, Ron. You're breaking up. Give it a minute. Look at the way he froze.
Laura.
They film hunting shows, but they.
Oh, there you go. Start that over. You froze up, Ron.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, a place out in Cody, Wyoming. They have a hunting show out there, and they make custom guns. And if I don't have the time to reload, I call and get a Pacific box of ammo out there, and those things are so deadly accurate. Oh, unbelievable. So anybody in the hunting world ever heard of a Berger BLD? They are just very, very accurate. So yeah, I'm done. My arm's all black and blue already. I was looking like, holy shit, I'm shooting Don's gun. But it was fun. Good therapy. Going out, pulling a trigger and making bang noises, and that's therapy for me.
Where'd you go? Just out in the middle of nowhere and picked a random spot, or?
No, we have Don belongs to a gun range here in Sundance.
Oh, so you went to an actual range. Okay.
Laura, do you want
Yeah.
the pizza?
No, thank you.
Because I'm
And
sure
then
you can
David-
find a lot of empty fields out there. You could just go out
Oh,
and
God,
shoot,
yeah.
right?
Oh yeah.
Laura, do you want anything to eat?
No, thank you.
No, I made a day of it. Went and had lunch and then went
That's
to the gun
good.
range. Yeah. nice relaxing day.
Justin,
What's
show that crocodile picture again, video again with a deer, and just see if Ron recognizes any of them deer.
Oh, he can't
I don't
watch
know
that
now.
while he's driving. I don't want to play that while he's driving.
Yeah.
Uh, that was by design, Laura, by the way.
DJ,
What was by design?
He didn't put the link in the chat.
what?
David said to keep you out. He told Paul
Yeah,
that at the
there's no
green room
link in the
earlier.
chat. I actually had to go to my emails.
Wow.
Oh, there is a
Oh,
link.
that's because David told him earlier in the green room. He's like, "Don't let Laura in. Don't put the link in the chat." What's up, TJ? I have noticed that TJ is limiting himself on the live streams, which is good.
Yeah, he's just popping into the chats now and again.
Well, when he does come in, he doesn't stay very long anymore. I've noticed.
Well, the wifey's due home. That's his priority. That's good.
I think he's finding a good balance for himself.
Yeah.
Because I told him that before too. I was like, if she's not home, then come on and chill by all means if you ain't got nothing to do. But then when she gets home, if she wants to spend time, then jump off.
And you better make sure you got your chores done before you do chill.
That's a great thing about having kids.
Yeah. Oh, get the work done around the house.
I make them clean my damn room up because they come in here and make a damn mess.
That's right. You earn your keep.
Hey, Captain Joe, how you doing?
I'm not going live. I don't think I'm going live tonight. Dominic said he was going to.
Yeah, Dominic said he was going live midday his time.
I might restream his stream on my little channel, but because he has that
Thursday.
capability, but
Is today Thursday or Friday?
Thursday.
Okay.
JD, you should come on tonight, man.
JD's PW.
I don't want to sound gay, but kind of miss you, man.
Yay.
Did that sound gay?
Did that sound gay?
I miss you, man.
Reminder, tune in later tonight. Can you later?
Tim, midday. He said it would be about 3 a.m. my time.
Yeah, Dominic said it'd be about 10 p.m. my time. Said around there.
I'm hopefully still be awake.
Well, Justin, you're going on from 8 to 10, right?
I don't know. I mean, I probably could for a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say just do the pre-show and then turn it over to Dominic.
JD said Justin misses my face, no homo.
Wayne B, I'll tune into Justine's when I need to go to sleep again.
I told him I don't care. You can fall asleep and give me that watch time. Or I give a shit. You ain't hurt my feelings.
Mark White, how you doing?
Hey, Mark White.
Can let those ads run through while you're sleeping.
Sure.
Google, turn off the cage.
Hey, David, do it yourself.
Hey, David, do it yourself.
What's up, Mark?
I'd love Google to reply back with that one day.
It's going to the way you talk shit to it. Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna want to eat with me opening these up.
Mark, I'm not sure, but he definitely said he's going live at midday his time today. So 3 a.m. our time.
He won't. He'll go right.
Are you arguing with your kids, Justin?
Yes, he is.
No, I was telling. I was opening up a pig ear for Tyson to eat. And Sarah was trying to get me to feed it into here where I'm sitting, but he won't ever stay in here. I'll take it to the bed and eat it. He likes to sit up on the bed and eat it. Him and Bo have gotten on this pig ear kick lately. They love pig ears. Oh, it's a water buffalo ear. Okay. That particular one I just opened. So I can go to the dollar store and get them for $1 a piece. Dogs love them.
So Ron, how long you off for? 5 days or 6 days?
I think I might have to go back Tuesday.
Ah. So, but you've been away all day, so the herd's probably waiting for you.
Yeah, it's pretty warm though. They're probably still in the woods. I'm curious to see if the water tanks dropped again. They must have been thirsty. There were several gallons gone.
I can go live when I get home from work. What
So
time?
Tim's gonna scare everybody on his channel.
What time are you gonna join Justin's, Tim?
Why are you handing me these? Put them up in the closet.
So Tim's gonna join you what at 7 or 8?
Well, what time does? Well, it's only that mid-afternoon. Tim doesn't get home till like, what, 11 or 12 my time? What time is
Oh
it?
no, he gets home before that.
He gets home at like 4 or 5, I think. Yeah, it's only 8:57 a.m. there. So he just got to work. Like not even probably maybe an hour or two ago.
Oh,
Tim's
so
not.
he'd be wanting to go live in the morning.
Yeah, Tim wouldn't be going live till like 1 or 2 in the morning. I'd be going to bed around that time.
He's got another 6 hours at work.
Oh yeah, that's 1 o'clock. Then by the time he gets home, that'd be 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, probably. 'Cause Tim usually drives anywhere between 20 minutes to an hour, depending on where his job site's at. It's about how far he drives to get there.
He got to work at 7 a.m.
How you doing, Mark?
Oh boy.
I don't know, Mark. He said she's supposed to be on tonight, but he said he was gonna go live around 10 p.m. That's right when she goes live. So I don't know.
Who's that?
Tammy Jean.
I say, yeah, doesn't Tammy Jean go on at night? She usually don't have any guests though.
Yeah,
No.
but yeah, the last 2 live shows she did,
Oh,
I think. I know last week she did. She had a bunch of people on there. 'Cause they were playing like the survival game thing. And she had like 8 or 9 people on the panel.
So she goes on about 10 o'clock.
Every other, I think 1 week she'll go on at 10 o'clock and then 1 week she goes on at 8. I think it's
Yeah,
every
she's
other
on,
Thursday.
She's on at 8 p.m.
Tonight?
Yep.
8 p.m. your
But you-
time?
No,
That's not-
yours. It's 1 a.m. my time. She goes live.
That's not what it said on the schedule.
I've got it up now.
It says 10:15 p.m. the after party. But I think Dominic said she every other week it switches. So I don't know which week this would be. Because some weeks he says she does it at 8 and then other weeks she readjusts her time because of Kim's
that?
show. Can
no, I'm going straight towards.
does she have it scheduled already?
Yeah, look,
Okay.
I'll put it in the private chat.
Okay, so it's probably the
All right,
week
thank
that she
you.
does it at 8. Because I know 2 weeks out of the month she does it at 10. Yeah, so tonight's the one she does at 8 o'clock. Okay. Because there's 2 of the days out of the 2 weeks out of the month she does it at 10 because something to do with the conflict of Ken Heron's show. So I don't watch him anyway. So, God really don't give a shit who's on. I'll go live anyway.
So you're going live tonight?
No, I'm just saying in general, I don't give a shit if somebody's live or not. I'll go live anyway. Ain't nobody on no damn time slot. There's too many damn live shows to be worrying about that. Because this is the thing, either you're going to worry about it and you're going to get a shitty time slot because all these big guys have taken all the good ones, or you can just go live, and if people want to hang out with you, they're going to come over to your show. They're going to
That's the
go
way
where
I
they
look
want to
at
go.
it.
Oh, what show can I find
Some
tonight?
people
if
get
Justin goes live.
get all pissy because somebody else is on at the same time they are. It's like, hey, go to the channel that you want to go to. You know,
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't really give two shits who's on. And I don't really cover, I mean, we talk about drones. Obviously, I have quite a few people from the drone community on my show and in my live chats and stuff. But my show's not necessarily based around that anyway. So
Frank Rizzo says hi to David.
we talk about computers, cell phones, politics, whatever. We don't really have a straight, because like I've said before, I don't like structured shows. It's nothing against the people that do them, but I find those shows incredibly boring. And I don't like when you're on a damn schedule and you have to be like, oh, we can only talk about this. And then we have 10 minutes later, we have to talk about this. And 10 minutes, we can only discuss this. Like, those shows to me are boring as shit.
yeah.
And like I said, it's just my personal preference. I have nothing against the people that do them. And I understand some people enjoy that, but it's just not for me. I would rather have an open panel. We discuss it and everybody goes until they feel like they're tired and want to end the show.
No, Tim, you talk about beer.
Because you'll see, Ron, when I do a 4 or 5 hour live show, I can have a complete different set of panel every 2 hours where it's a whole new set of
Oh, I
people.
know. Yep.
So you get a vast variety of different people, and it makes it a lot more interesting and fun.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm probably gonna lose signal here in a minute or two. If
Okay.
you're still on, I'm gonna stop at Don's. I want to see how many deer he has in his backyard tonight.
Justin, just to be
All right.
let you
I
know.
gotta carry a couple 100 pounds of corn in the house or up the back deck. He has a big garbage cans out there. His deer are the same way. You get into that garbage
What's up,
can,
Frank?
and get the little, start rattling the corn, and they come
Jody is doubling as Frank Rizzo.
What were you saying, David?
Yeah, you wouldn't have a different panel every 2 hours if your stream was interesting. You'd be able to hold it.
Oh, fuck off.
Well, Paul can hold a panel.
No, it's just I keep
7
it
hours.
going so long that some people get tired and want to
Paul
go,
does
and
the
then other
same when he
people want to
keeps his
pop in.
panel.
And sometimes the stream puts the person to sleep.
I don't care. You go to sleep and give me the watch time. I don't care. If I'm what you're thinking about when you're closing your eyes at night, I've done something right.
And I'll be flicking sorting you out.
You can go to bed and dream about me all you want. I don't give a crap.
Hey, Mike.
Reddick, what's up, man?
Like I said yesterday, Justin, you're more British than you fucking admit. Because you can have proper good banter like the British do.
Oh, the Australians have told me the same thing. Because I was warned by Tim when I first started hanging around Matt and them. He was like, man, watch out, they're wild. Now, I'll give it back to Matt and Dominic and all them just as bad.
But what I also like, you can give it and take it.
Yeah, not to say not to say that there's been times where I've gotten pissed off about something somebody said, but I didn't make a big deal about it. I just kind of left the stream. I have done that a couple times. I'm not going to say nothing ever gets to me, but there has been a couple times I've left streams where I just was not feeling it that day, but I didn't make a big deal about it.
Well,
And I
if-
Oh,
was
how
fine
about
after
you
that.
leave my streams?
yeah. But if we ever do that, you leave the stream because of us, let us know because we don't ever want to upset you. We just like having a laugh with you.
No. I'm just saying I've never had that issue with you guys. I'm just saying there has been times where I just got frustrated and left.
I mean, we
because-
can't help Welsh Rob, though, unfortunately.
but I don't make a big deal about it, and I'm not gonna just be like, knock my friend because they pissed me off one time. I'll come back and be done and over with. I don't care. I don't hold grudges like that.
Yeah, like I said, we can't help Welsh Rob. Unfortunately, we do have to class him as British because unfortunately we have to class the Welsh as British.
Don't worry, when I annex the UK, the Welsh are getting separated.
Justin's live gets me drunk.
Oh yeah, blame your drinking on me, Tim. That's okay. Just like Sean trying to blame me last night why he was up so late. He was like, well, you messaged me. What are you doing?
Actually, Justin, I can blame you for me being up late last night.
Sean tried to blame me last night. He's like, well, you messaged me. What are you doing? I said, I just messaged you. What are you doing? And he responded back, just got home from work. I was like, I didn't tell you to stay up till 2 hours before you had to be at work. It's like, you could have left at any time and went to bed. I said, don't blame me for that shit.
4 a.m. this morning, I went to bed.
I actually try to take the heat off Tim sometimes because Matt will get intense sometimes.
Well,
Matt
Park,
will dig his paws into Tim.
What was that?
Wickford Park, is that Harrison and Don Morris?
Yes.
He's gone for a recount.
I think
It's
that's
club.
it. Hold on, let me just double check.
Oh, you guys are doing your elections in Florida. Nice. We love recounts in Florida and Arizona. We call a recount every time.
The only difference is we don't have machines to blame. Everything's counted by hand.
Well, see, the problem is here, David, is there's no consistency on how they do elections. Some cities will use a machine, some will use paper ballots. There really needs to be one consistent system that is used everywhere. So if we're going to use polling machines, you should be able to walk into any state in the United States in any polling thing and it be the same exact machines. Like
Yeah.
there needs to be a consistency across the board, and that's the problem.
But
Is there's no
the thing is,
consistency.
it should all be paper so it could all be checked. You know, we have machines that can count banknotes very quickly. So why have we not got machines that can count election results very
Well,
quickly?
we do too, but we also had the problem with the tabs weren't punched out good enough. You remember that, Paul?
Yeah,
Where it was a tab issue on some of the paper ballots. And it really just needs to be a machine with touchscreen. Who do you vote for? This president or this president? You click it and then it will ask you, are you sure you want to make this selection? Yes. Like that's all it needs to be. It just
And
needs to
if-
be a
and if
touch
you-
screen that
Yes,
takes
but
you through
then-
each.
But
each
then you then
ballot.
get the other side going, yes, but you really didn't ask them, did they really, really, really wanted to?
Oh God, I mean, there is, and that's why you put that second step in there to make sure it wasn't a misclick on the screen or something, right? It double checks with you. Are you sure you voted for so-and-so candidate? And you double check it and it says yes. I mean, you could even put a third step in there just to make sure. Are you
Yeah.
absolutely sure? Yes. And then it takes you to the next voting ballot on whatever law you might be voting on, or judge, or local politician. You know what I'm saying? It could just walk you through one page at a time, boom, boom, and be done. But that's the problem, is there's just no consistency. Some places are really old school, some are more modern.
Right, Laura,
And-
was I right?
Yeah. You know Kim Oakes?
Yeah.
Do you know she's a councillor?
For the town council, yeah.
What's
Yeah.
up, Joe? Joe back in the chat. Actually, Mark, no, I don't get to watch Bills too often because usually I'll pop in his chat right when he starts and I'll hang around for about a half
you
hour.
gotta
But
work Monday morning.
yeah, but usually I work Monday morning, so his show is no unless I'm on vacation and I have that Monday off. I usually go on Bill's show when I have a Monday off. I'll actually jump on the panel with him, but that's
Does
only
mean no
like
Justin's got a Monday off.
yeah, that's how you exactly know I'll have a Monday off, because I'm not getting on the fucking live stream at 10 o'clock at night and going to work the next morning. That ain't happening. Because Bill won't end till 12, 1 o'clock in the morning sometimes.
Well,
So,
got
but
an
I'm
idea
not the
for you,
one that
Justin.
I don't like leaving live streams early most of the time. Unless I know you're getting close to the end, then I might leave.
Yeah, ring your company and tell them you're now British, and they're having every Monday of May off as a bank holiday.
I'm just gonna tell them I'm Australian and I want every other day off. Seems like Tim and Dominic and all them have a fucking holiday every other day. That's why I thought it was so funny when Tim was like, yeah, Australia's 5 years behind America on everything. I say, well, yeah, because you guys are off 355 days out of the year. So there's no damn productivity in Australia.
Every other country has national holidays. In Australia, they have a national go to work day.
Yeah, there you go. Tim puts out the cones and then he's like, all right, I'll see you guys in 6 months and we'll go ahead and start this construction. Then by the time
I thought Tim had to stand there as a cone.
then by the time they come back 6 months later, half the cones are knocked over and they have to readjust them. It starts all over again. Next thing you know, 10 years later, it took them to do replace the sidewalk for, 100 feet. I mean, we get our fair share of holidays, but to be honest, like my company, I think we take maybe 4 or 5 holidays off a year and that's it. But I will automatically with just my normal hours, if I work 40 hours a week, 5 days or 5 days a week, 40 hours a week. If I worked out through the whole year, I automatically get 2.5 weeks vacation. Plus I get 3 free days from the company that I don't have to earn. It's just 3 free days the company
First
gives me.
results in Laura for Basildon. Never
I
Yeah.
have 3 full weeks.
Labour came second, 6%, 19.1%. And it was an independent that came in at 66.3%. And the Conservatives got absolutely smashed.
So it was the independent that won?
Yep.
If you ask Bill for a link, Tim, he'll send you one. He doesn't send everybody a link. He's like me. I don't always put it in the chat, but if you ask me for one, I'll gladly send you one. If I know who you are. I don't send everybody I know links every week. Sometimes I miss people because I literally will go in my messenger and I'll just go to the last 15 people I talked to and I'll just send them a link. And then when people pop in that normally are on my show that I might have missed, I'll put it in the chat for them. Or I'll have somebody else send it to them.
Serious question, but what are the Proud Boys in America?
The Proud Boys are a conservative group that are very anti-woke and very Second Amendment, First Amendment.
Well,
And they are not a racist group. And
No.
because the media tried to say they were a Nazi group when their freaking founder was black.
Right, just so you're aware, 4 of them have been jailed.
No, that doesn't surprise me. They don't fuck around. They will literally show up to a protest and get into a boxing match with the other side. A lot of those guys are ex-military, very
Yeah.
patriotic guys. They don't fuck around. Like if you get in their face, they will knock you the hell out. Like, but the thing that pissed me off about the Proud Boys is they labeled them as a racist group when like 40 or 50% of their fucking members were a bunch of different ethnicities. Some were black, some were Mexican, some were there was some Asians that were in the group. I mean, and the founder was, if I'm not mistaken, the founder was either black or Spanish descent. He wasn't even a white dude. But they tried to say it was a right-wing Nazi group. And I was like, really? Come on now, guys. They're just very patriotic guys. A lot of them are ex-military and they're very, like I said, they don't fuck around. If they see you stomping on a flag or burning a flag, these guys will be on your ass in 2 seconds. And they will beat the living shit out of you for disrespecting that flag. They have no They have no qualms getting into a beef with somebody over. But they would protect your rights in a minute, right? Like
Yeah.
if you were getting attacked, even if you were a gay person, and you were getting attacked by somebody unnecessarily, they would step in and protect you.
Talking about the flag, one of our auditing Britain groups today was making a point how our police officers are going round with a blacked out Union Jack. So instead of the red, white, and blue, it was a black Union Jack with a thin blue line through it. And they were saying if that had been in America, if they'd have turned the American flag into black and white, there would have been a massive uproar.
No, there's actually a black and white version of the American flag, and it has to do with it's something to do with the military. It's like a lot of veterans actually fly it. I just can't remember the meaning behind it, but there's a patriotic meaning behind it. But it's actually a really cool flag. It's like a really dark black, and it has like a
Ours
light
is
gray.
to do with Black Lives Matter or something.
Oh no, this one has to do with I just can't remember the name behind it. And I'm not really sure what Mark meant by the Millwall supporters. What is that? Who are they?
Millwall supporters, they used to be one of the hardest football group of fans you could ever imagine. They would
Okay.
turn up and just turn your town over. Today,
Okay.
they're not as bad. It's not as when Millwall and West Ham turn up, then yeah, it's going to be. But in general, they're not that bad anymore.
Mark says, so I guess it's just shortened from a form of proud to be an American boys. I mean, that's all it is, Mark, is these guys are all about protecting their rights as what the Constitution states. And they are the type that if rioters showed up to your neighborhood, they would stand in front of them and keep them out of your neighborhood from tearing your neighborhood up. These guys are super patriotic, a lot of them are ex-military. Like I said, these guys aren't just like right wing, just nut jobs. They go to these protests to get their point across to protect, they're there to put their 2 cents, not censoring people and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, can they get out of control? Of course, I'm not going to defend them on that. They do get out of control sometimes. But like I said, they're not a bunch of nut jobs. If you met the guys, they're actually, a lot of them are really stand-up people. They just don't put up with the woke culture. They're kind of on the front lines fighting against it. Because a lot of the woke culture wants to stifle our Constitution. They don't want freedom of speech. They don't want the Second Amendment. They want, if I call somebody a transsexual or if I misgender them, they want that to be illegal. And unfortunately, the Constitution says that's not illegal. Hate speech doesn't exist in the United States. We don't have, as far as our Constitution is concerned, hate speech does not exist, period. And you cannot stifle speech. The government is not, any government, state, local government entity is not allowed to tell you what you can and can't say.
All I'm going to say
A
on
business can now. If you go on to, if you're working in a business and you say something racist, yes, a business can fire you because that's a private entity. But a government cannot.
Yeah, what I'm going to say on the matter tonight, the only thing is hate speech should not be about freedom of, being able to speak out. Hate speech should be about in the manner and the tone that you use it. If you're gonna aggressively call someone, about their skin and race or whatever in an aggressive, horrible tone, then I'm sorry, that's hate speech. Wherever you are.
But I'm saying if you go by our Constitution and you take it to the literal meaning of what the Constitution states, that technically does not exist here. Now, if I aggressively call somebody the N-word, that's fine. But if I say, now go kill that N-word, then that is inciting violence. That can get you in trouble.
Yeah. But do you think there'll ever be a point where the amendments have to be amended
No,
Yeah.
because it's actually against the Constitution. You
Yeah,
can't
but the
change it.
Constitution, has to keep up with the times. Do you not think there'll be a point where they say, you know what, we are going to have to amend some things? Like the right to bear arms.
Why does the right to freedom of speech, what does that have to do with what
No,
time
I'm
period?
not
you're in?
talking about just freedom of speech. I'm talking about the right to bear arms. That is, to a lot of Americans, means you have the right to hold a gun and point it at anyone you feel like it.
No, that's not what most Americans think. Most say it's the right to own and protect yourself against a tyrannical government and to protect your personal and private property. That's what that amendment means. The
Do you not think
Constitution
it's
was
going to come to a point where it has to be amended to stop
you
the violence on the streets?
no, because even if we were to take guns away, it would just open up a complete black market, and then you would have millions of innocent people without a way to protect themselves because criminals don't care about the laws. You get what I'm saying? Once
Yeah.
something's
I get
entered,
that.
take the alcohol prohibition, right? In the 40s is a perfect example. They made alcohol illegal. All it did was open up a bunch of speakeasies and underground railroads of moving illegal alcohol. It didn't stop it at all because criminals don't care. And that was the mafia. They were the ones that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, do you not think there has to be a point where things have to go with? We talk about drone rules. Governments and that are playing catch up with so many freaking things these days because technology is moving so fast. But what happens when it gets to the point where you could actually use your computer to kill someone? Yeah.
So Mark, if you're asking me, can you I think what he's asking is the KKK protected by the Constitution? I'm assuming that's what he's asking.
Yes.
As long as inciting or creating violence, then yes, they are protected. They can have a rally, they can speak out, they can say what they want. Now, if they say anything within that rally, like, let's go burn this, these N-words neighborhood down, or let's go do this, then yes, they could easily get in trouble and be arrested and thrown in prison for inciting violence, yes. But if they're just speaking their minds about what they believe in, and they don't say any kind of incite any violence or threaten anybody in any kind of harm, then they have every right to speak out. Do I agree with them? No. But my problem is if you decide to ban that type of speech, then it opens up a can of worms of now everything that nobody likes anybody saying, everything's open to be banned, and then nobody has freedom of speech. So I don't agree with these people, but the minute you start banning certain speech, then everything's bannable at that point.
I just think it's the tone that needs to be addressed, not the freedom to express and say what you want. I mean, there are some things that I wouldn't agree with people saying. The tone,
100%.
yeah, the tone itself, and I'm not talking like just the thing about let's go and burn down something. I'm talking about getting in someone's face and going, I hate you because of where you're from. Get out of it.
Because there's a lot of them. I would say ignorant Americans in America right now, and you'll tell them, you live in the most freest country in the world, and they'll say, no, we don't. There's plenty of free countries out there.
No, there isn't.
Not to the point that you are, because in Britain, and you and Mark can totally tell me if I'm wrong, but under my understanding, and I know for a fact this is a problem in Canada, you can be arrested for certain things that you say just because somebody else doesn't like it. So
Not
in a sense,
not arrested, but you can be told off. New laws that came in at the weekend is the right to peaceful protest. Now it's open to the police what is deemed as a peaceful protest. You can't block the roads. You can't make a lot of
Now,
noise.
but you guys have hate speech laws, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So our form of freedom of speech to your form of freedom of speech is not as free as ours. You get
No.
what I'm saying? So that's where that's where we try to explain to certain people that grew up here that don't have any real culture about what's going on around the world. They just read shit on the news and say, oh yeah, everything's better everywhere else. It's like, in reality, a redneck out in the middle of the woods in North Carolina shooting his gun is more free than anybody in any other country in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like to a
Yeah.
certain, because there are certain freedoms that you guys do have that we have, but ours are extended past yours to a certain extent. Right? So that's what I'm saying. And the problem with amending the Constitution is it's actually against the constitutional laws where you cannot change those fundamental amendments and rights in the Constitution. So the only way not to say it could never happen, but it would be I couldn't imagine I couldn't even really tell you what would happen if they tried that. Because to be honest with you, most of the people that go 90%, I would say 99% of the people that go in the military are very constitutional, freedom loving, American loving people that believe in the Constitution and what it stands for. And if it came down to the military taking the government or citizen side, I highly doubt they would take the government side if it came down to it, and they would overthrow the government. That's just, I really believe that our military would not take maybe some of the guys at the top would try, but they're useless if they don't have none of the guys underneath them, right?
Hey, Laura,
Oh, relax yourself.
Did you just go out and mug Paul, the other Paul?
But yeah, like I said, I don't think the U.S. military, if it came to push to shove, I would say at least 85 to 90% of them would back the U.S. citizens over the government if the government got that tyrannical. Because if you talk to most veterans, dude, they are not on any of the leftist side as far as let's ban this, let's ban that, dude. They are, and you got to remember too, veterans actually outman active duty. There's like what? Shit, I wish fucking Dustin or one of them were in their chat. I want to say there's like 20 vets to every one active duty member. There's 20 veterans out there. So that's what I'm saying. Like, there's just a level of respect with most of the people in the military to people's constitutional rights and stuff. I could be wrong. I really could be, but I really highly doubt that would ever happen.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's true here too, Mark. I mean, every race in the United States has a big handful of people that are racist towards other races. It's not just to one particular race at all. But if you go by the woke culture, you can't be racist if you're a minority. Only white people can be. It's called reverse racism. The reverse, what do they call it? Reverse racism? Exactly, Tim. The Constitution cannot be amended. I don't know. I like having these discussions. And looks like Jody just got home and made it home safe. But to be honest with you, Mark, the KKK isn't even that prevalent anymore.
no, there isn't.
They are so freaking tiny now than what they were 60 years ago. That has been so overblown in the media, dude. They don't even, dude, I could go out actively looking for KK members and would probably have a hell of a time trying to find them. Like, they are not that prevalent in society.
It used to be like a Southern gentleman's club.
Yeah, back in like 50 years ago, but they're not
100
even
years
around
ago.
like that anymore. And not to say there's not white separatist groups still, but they're so small in numbers, dude. They're not this big national threat that the media tries to make out to be. I mean, like I've met two people in my life that were like super racist like that were white. That were like really racist. Like, you know, I had a friend growing up in high school, and her brother, like, I went over to his apartment one day, and he had like a Nazi flag and a noose and all this shit hanging up in his apartment, and I think I've met one or two people like that in my whole life out of all the people I've met. So they're not that prevalent. They're just makes it seem like they're this big old threat, like there's millions of them or something. It's not even, there's not even thousands of them anymore. It's probably groups of hundreds, if that. And if there are any groups of them, they are small in numbers, and they're in the very rural areas. They're not going to be in the middle of a major city or nothing. Yeah, okay, so yeah, Joe. Okay, yeah, Joe was in here, so he said there's 1.3 active military duty members and 19 million 19 million veterans as its 2021 figures. Granted, I would say probably 8 or 9 million of those probably aren't fit to really do anything if shit came to push to shove, because there are quite a few older ones that are just a little too old to really be getting into anything like that. But there, you do have a lot from Desert Storm era that would still be perfectly capable of picking up a gun and causing damage. Got ones from the early 2000 wars. So yeah, for sure. So they definitely do outnumber active duty. And I don't think the active duty guys would go down that route. I really don't. I think if it came push to shove, they would totally back the US population. Yeah, Tim, back then, but I would say the 80s was about the last time you really seen any of them. They're not like that anymore. They're, like I said, they're in the hundreds of members.
They all died off.
Park I mentioned earlier.
Yeah, they're in the hundreds of members in the entire country, but you're talking about having a population of 330 million. There may be what, 3,000 or 4,000 altogether, if that. And that'd be being generous with the numbers. You actually look at the statistics on them, they're almost non-existent. But like I said, you do still have little white separatist groups here, and you even have you know, black groups that are extremely racist. They're like little militias too. I mean, it's not just something that's prone to just the white race.
Well, you still have the Communist Party in the United States.
Right.
You know, there's all these little fragmented things going on.
Yeah, but they're not that big of a fucking
they're not
threat
big.
that the media makes them out to be. They make them seem like there's 100 million of them and they're out to kill everybody. No, that's not the case.
Independence won one.
Not that many votes have been announced. Just 2 so far.
Yeah, but they were really big, Tim, back in like the 40s and 50s. Like that was when they were huge. Like that's when they had like 100,000 members or some shit. Like there was one point where the KKK had like, they were up in the hundreds of thousands. But like Paul said, most of 80% of those guys have all died off from really old age, and I'm sure there's quite a handful of them that reformed over the years as they got older, you know. Sometimes people completely do a 180 when they get older, you know. Oh yeah, because if I'm not mistaken, Mark, you guys actually have a high influx of people from the Middle East moving there, right?
How do you know?
Elections up Wickford North.
You got a lot of Muslims moving to the UK, I think, if I remember correctly.
1,180 votes.
She's got more.
Let me check, Curtis.
45% of the vote.
Uh, oh, yeah. Oh, let me share this real quick. Look at what Curtis's stats. See that?
Hmm.
He's only put up 3 videos. And he's already hit his 5K hours. And he's hasn't registered yet, but Curtis, just to let you know, this will take anywhere between 3 to a week before it will actually register and give you the monetization option.
He's got to get
Um,
subs
I
there.
s- I set at 5K watch hours for almost a week before it finally registered. YouTube
That's
Studio
it.
registered it.
He hasn't got the subs yet.
Yeah, but he'll still get a registration on this though with a green check mark.
No,
What's
yeah,
the-
both.
No. But what I'm saying is, as you see these green check marks, as he completes each step, it will give him a green check mark.
Yeah, but he's got to hold on to that
Right.
4,000, hasn't he?
Yeah, but he's only put up 3 videos, dude, and he's already hit 5,000 hours. So I don't think he'll have a problem with that. But look at he's growing too. He was only at like 150 subs, what, like 2 weeks ago? So he's already grown in subs. I give him probably about another month, maybe 2 at tops, before he hits that 1,000 subs. But like I said, the big thing with these music channels like he's doing is you get so many people, and if Curtis doesn't care if they do it, he might not even know, because I don't know if YouTube's going to register every time somebody does it. But people are going to sit there and listen to all his music because they're going to want music that they're going to want to use and clip for videos and stuff. And I guarantee that's why he's getting so much watch hours, because they're going through his music and they're really finding music that they like that he's doing. And honestly, I don't know if it would be better for Curtis to really try to go out and fight people about using his music, unless they're claiming it's their music, or actually putting on his channel that he's okay with people using it and saying that it could be copyright free, and just letting people openly just snatch his music and use it. It might drive a lot of traffic to his channel. So I don't know. That's something you might want to think about too, Curtis, like, because there are some music channels out there that are very big that are making a lot of money just being a no face channel like that, where there's really not a face behind the channel, but they're monetized and they're making money, but they put on all their videos, no copyright, you can use the music, and they just let them use it. So but that's awesome, Curtis, though. That's really good. So I don't know what you want to do with your music. Are you so concerned about people using it, or do you want to enjoy putting it out there and making money off of it, and let people just kind of use it freely? I mean, I honestly think letting them use it freely is kind of a good idea. Just my opinion. But it's your music.
I don't know. I think it'd be nice to see some sort of music that goes out there that, people can use it, but
Right.
for a one-off fee, and you can use it as many times as you want. Yeah.
Right. But the thing is too, is if say subscribes to Curtis's channel and they really like his music, and they rip a 2-minute section from one of his, 4-hour-long videos he puts up, right? And they use it for his thing, and Curtis doesn't go after him. Well, guess where they're going to keep going back to get music and giving Curtis
Yeah.
that watch hours, the ad time, all that.
I think there's
But
a
if Curtis
difference, though.
starts-
I mean, ripping
but
a
if-
2-minute section, or even, a 3-4 minute section, that's bang out of order.
But
Where, fair use of like 1 minute.
Well, but what I'm saying is that's up to Curtis, right? So if Curtis, But if Curtis starts copywriting everybody that's using his music when he gets the notifications from YouTube, if they happen to notify him,
Then he's going to be too rich to come on here, isn't he?
well, no, but I think then people are going to be like, well, this dude's not going to let me use his music, so I'm just going to unsub and find somebody else's channel to get music.
No, because
But I'm saying it might open up a more thing where people will come in and they'll feel like Curtis is a good dude. They'll feel like his channel is a good channel to go to. They know
Maybe
they're
the
not
odd
going to
one or
get a
two.
copyright from it.
I think you're right. Maybe the odd one or two, but there has to be a point where Curtis must be able to control his music, because I think as well, just thinking about it, what happens if Curtis' music gets put to a video that is not in Curtis's interest? You know, he suddenly gets linked by association. You know, he's got to have some sort of control.
Well, I mean but that's what I'm saying is that's where he could individually decide. But if somebody takes a 2-minute, you know, say they take a 2-minute, yeah, but see, think about this, right? If I do a 2-minute intro on my live stream and put music to it, as somebody that comes and decides to watch my live stream and you don't like what I'm saying in the live stream, are you really thinking about what music I overlaid on this intro? I'm not. Like, is that really what you're thinking about? If you don't like what I'm saying, and you want to report my channel? I mean, it really doesn't fall back on Curtis in that sense. It's just a music. They won't even, most of these people won't even know where the music's coming from. But I'm saying is people really going to sit there and associate a certain song? But like if a news agency or somebody steals his music and wants to use it, then Curtis could, you know, decide, you know, that's not a subscriber. That's just the news agency trying to use my shit and make money off of it. Maybe decide to copyright that particular video. But I wouldn't be going after small creators that are just making an intro video or an outro video or just, you know, wanting to play a song while they're doing their live stream, or, you know, because it makes for a good rapport with your subscribers when they feel like you're not going to come after them for every stupid thing. And then Curtis could even put a face to it, to his channel, and kind of interact with these people and let them know, you know, hey, you know, I'm going to keep making music. You guys can use it, you know, and kind of put a face with it. I don't know. It's a lot to think about, right? I mean, I think it could be positive in a way to drive a lot of traffic to his channel. Because think about it, if you got 5K views off of 3 videos, you imagine if you had a whole fucking 200, 300 video catalog on there. He'd probably be sitting at a few 100,000 hours of video watch time. Right
Here's
now.
Ron.
I'm back here at Don's house. Ooh. How you doing?
I don't know, Curtis. It's just some things to think about, though. I think. Ooh, there you go, Ron.
Yeah.
No, get back off the screen. We didn't want to look at you. There you
Yeah. Number 7.
Well, you don't have to give that kind of information away, Curtis. Just be like, you know, figure it out yourself.
Let's see if I can get the deer to.
Unless you want to do how-to videos. You could probably make some views off of that, too. But if you get that many people asking you, man, how are you doing this? It's really cool. Just be like, man, I'm working hard. They'll keep coming back to your channel if they don't know how to do it. Oh, you're going to be there pretty soon. Don't worry about it, Curtis.
Ron got the herd there or no?
Well,
What's up, Russell?
They're just in the yard. Don kind of scared them with the truck, but
What was that deer that used to come and doesn't come anymore?
Oliver.
Oliver, what are you going to do if he turns up there? You're going to call him a you're going to call him a traitor.
I think Oliver went to the hunting lodge in the sky.
Big logic guy.
Ron, Joe wants to know what his girlfriend's picture's doing on your stream.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you were on Max Live that night. I met her.
No, that was actually right before I started coming around.
Oh, yeah. Old
I
number
saw the videos right after.
Yeah. Whew. All right, where'd you guys go? Get back here.
I think that was a couple months before I came around. Cause you
Yeah.
guys were still like oohing and awing over that, video.
I was oohing and off right there live. I still remember that one girl. I was walking down through town and she saw my name. She goes,
I
Who's-
put,
who's
I'm
your
hearing
daddy?
someone smashed it. She put lol, yes.
Remember I was nicknamed Who's Your Daddy?
This one,
She goes, You're disgusting.
Yeah.
Thank you.
yeah, right, 75. One Whitford Independent. Bank.
Hey, Ron, do you ever see that gal at the restaurant?
No, did I tell you? She
No.
moved.
Yeah.
She had this little pie.
She left and went east side of South Dakota.
She packed up and went where the guy was, or what?
No, she left him too. She went to be with her daughter.
Oh,
Oh,
did
well-
she say goodbye to you or anything, or?
yeah, she texted me the other day. So
Who was
yeah, she
this?
just left. Little honey from the restaurant.
She told you no.
Yeah, and then where the hell did they go?
She left town.
Yeah, she did. Biash. Damn it. Yeah, this is Don's backyard. You got a beautiful backyard. Big corn feeder right there. Oh. Yeah, he's got a real nice property here. Oh dear, all ran away.
Well, they're all up at your house waiting on you.
No, what the hell? No, there's no way. What? Oh, okay, I misread that. Never mind.
Come on, guys, come on back.
Does he feed the deer too, or did you just bring some corn with you?
They eat here too. He gets a lot more here than me. They don't come up and feed here like they do at my house. You scared him off of the truck. There's Don. Oop, where's he at?
Howdy.
What's up, Don?
How are you?
We had a fun day today at the range.
Yeah, I heard that your gun was too manly for Ron.
That thing's, man. My arm's still hurting.
He said, "I'm gonna go back to the 22. This is some bullshit."
I thought he wanted a 17 HMR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those 4570s have a little bit of a kick to them.
Yeah, when he came on earlier, he was rubbing his shoulder.
He said it was hurting. Mine's hurting a little bit too. I probably fired 6 or 8 rounds out of it. But I gave up on the 4570. I'm going to use 300.
Yep.
I can't get the the 4570s dialed in.
Well,
Thank goodness.
besides that, wouldn't it be easier for you to carry the 30?
Carry what?
Carry the smaller gun?
Oh, it's not a smaller gun.
The
It's
300. Oh, that's a,
300
Oh, that's
Winchester,
bigger gun. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a whopper.
It's a 1,000-yard shooter. Although I
Oh.
won't need that on this hunt. So,
Wow.
uh,
They probably could use your talent over in Ukraine.
you know, once upon a time, I thought that's the way I'd meet my maker, but not in Ukraine, necessarily Ukraine, but
The
you know,
Russians?
war zone. But I never went to a war zone.
Ah,
40 years in the army, only thing I ever did was riots and floods and hurricanes.
Were you National Guard?
Well, I had 10 years in the Guard,
Okay.
but total service I had 40 years.
so you're 30
Ooh,
years.
thank you.
29, I'm sorry,
30 years in the army then.
40
years.
40 years, 45 days short of 40 years. But 29 of it was active duty, the rest was Guard and Reserve.
Well, thank you for your service, my man.
Yeah, appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. It's the best kept secret around. You get to go to all these vacation spots and, you know, get paid for it.
Somebody had to man up, Ron.
Yeah, that's where I actually met Don, was on the military base.
And then we found out that he went to college 2 blocks from where I grew up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, small world out there.
And then, you know, back in, I think it was November, a friend of his from Pennsylvania came over and he says, stop down, we'll have hamburgers and pull up. The guy's got a special forces patch on the front of his truck. I said, what group were you with? Oh, I was 10th. And turns out we were in the same battalion, different companies.
Oh, wow.
At the same time, ironically.
Small world.
So Ron and I have got a lot of firsts, you know. Hunter Liggett, he got me coming to Wyoming to hunt. And, you know, as you see, I bought a house here. So it's my retirement home.
Do you like the weather there in Wyoming?
You know, when the weather's bad, I stay indoors.
Okay.
So, and, you know, once I got over here, that's when I got settled with the oxygen stuff. So, but I'm better off than a lot of people, despite my bitching.
So, Ron, do you think that you got your breathing problems from smoking in the military?
I quit smoking back in 2011 or 2001. After 2011, I quit smoking. I had been back to running 4 or 5 miles a day, doing all the Army physical stuff. But I blame my breathing problems on California wildfires because my job, fire chief would call me on the radio and say, we got people here, get them out of here. And myself or my guys went into those areas. We were in, right after I moved there, I was in smoke and ash for 45 straight days when 3 fires merged. And we never thought anything of it. We just did it, you know. Somebody's in danger, go get them.
Yeah.
And then, you know, my breathing started going almost back to like when I smoked.
Yeah.
And then I got over here and got COVID, and that was the final nail in my coffin. And Ron's been a godsend to me.
Yep.
He's here helping me every time I need help, and sometimes when I don't realize I need help.
Paul is good friends with Lynn, the gal you spoke to a week or 2 ago.
Okay.
Yeah, Paul's her real good friend, lives in the same town. They live just a few blocks apart.
Okay. I don't know that anything I told her helped her out, but
Well, you know, sometimes I think that just you commiserating with another person with the same kind of a
Yeah.
issue, a lung issue, probably helps. It makes you feel like you're not alone in the world.
Yeah, I probably should call her. I filed a 2 senatorial and 1 congressional complaint. We only got 1 congressperson in this state. Don't have enough people, but I just yesterday I heard from both Senator Barrasso's office and Senator Loomis's office. And they're both, I've got some documents I just printed out earlier today that they need me to fill out so they can go to the VA and get my records or look at them.
We can call her right after this. We can call her right after this. You want to talk to her? Yeah.
I say,
That'd be good because I talked to Lynn earlier today and she's having really a hard time breathing.
well, you know, and I have good days and I got bad days. But when she's having a rough time, she needs to go somewhere where they can, get her some help.
Well, you know, they've referred her to a specialist here in town. The VA
Yeah.
did, but they won't prescribe for her to have oxygen in the meantime until she sees the specialist, and the specialist isn't going to see her for another 2 weeks.
Well, and unfortunately, we all run across that when they put us out in the economy.
Yeah.
Well, if it's an emergency, maybe, going to the emergency room may help.
Well, what's stopping her from going to the emergency room? I think you probably Ron's told you, but she has several dogs and a big macaw parrot, and nobody to take care of them. And so, if she goes to the emergency room, you know what they're going to want to do? Oh, we're going to admit you, and she's not
Yeah.
having that.
Well, fortunately, I've had good luck at the emergency room. So, but yeah, I hate to see her suffer. And, the senator's office asked me why I filed the complaint. I said, well, even if you can't benefit me, it might benefit somebody on down the line.
Right.
And, but yeah, the VA, for me, for the most part, have been, except in the respiratory arena. I mean, they sent me to California with no oxygen, and I'm on high doses of oxygen. And while I was there, and that's part of my complaint was, while I was there, staying at my girlfriend's house, she got a notice from the power company that on the 28th of February, they were going to turn off all the electricity for the whole county. Well, that screwed me because I didn't have enough tanks. I took some with me, but I didn't have enough. And I got delayed there by 4 days because of floods, avalanches, snow, you name it. Turned out they did not turn the power off, but if they turn the power off, I can't drag a 60-pound concentrator around with me.
Right.
So, any rate, yeah. Don't,
So, yeah, well, if you get a chance to call Lynn, Ron, do so because I'm sure she'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, we'll give her a call.
And tell her, and I'll tell her, we'll tell her that, hey, call that doctor's office. Tell them if they got a cancellation and can get her in, to give her a call.
She's done that and they have not called her back.
Okay.
Well, we'll give her a call, Paul.
And she doesn't want me to call the doctor's office.
I'm sure.
Well, and I'm getting to be where that kind of stuff is concerned. I'm getting to be, a mean, nasty person. Maybe it's the age, maybe it's just I'm tired of being screwed over,
Yep.
And so I've never filed a congressional in my life, but this time I did.
Yeah. Well, good for you. Good for you.
So, and hopefully it helps out people like her and others. There's got to
Well,
be
there's
more.
gotta be, there's gotta be others out there, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm not
for
the only
sure.
person that's trying to travel. Well, and I didn't put this in my congressional, but Ron and I are going to Manitoba on a bear hunt, and I've been told emphatically I am not allowed to take any VA or Northwest Respiratory equipment with me. So
Oh, Ron,
when I
so
get
this,
back, if they find out, I'll say I'm sorry.
so Ron, this was a contact with the senators for the whole, trip
State.
there?
For the
I'm
state.
sorry.
For the state of Wyoming.
Yes,
Oh, okay. Was
Well,
that to
they're
help
the-
with the bear trip, right?
they're the federal guys, but
Oh.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Senator John Barrasso and Cynthia Loomis. And I haven't heard from our Congress lady. I got a complaint into her too.
No, but they had nothing to do with. the
Yeah,
hunt,
Mark.
But they
It
are
had
being,
nothing to do with the
the
bear.
VA was being a pain in the ass and saying he's not allowed to take his oxygen bottles to Canada. Guess what? We're taking his oxygen bottles to Canada.
Yeah,
They told me I had to buy my own up there, and they gave me the name of a place called International Oxygen. I can't find any international oxygen anywhere on the internet, so.
Deer? Yeah, there they are. They're laying down out there.
Yeah, because I remember a few months back, remember Ron, I said that's probably a good idea to get a hold of them guys.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Here they come.
I said, that's about the only way you're gonna get anything like that pushed through.
If they were too close to the steps. They're hesitant on coming up.
oh, they're not as trained as yours.
Yeah, well, they get hunted around me, so I don't want them too tame. So, but usually I'll come out here, if they do run when I open the door, they turn around, come right
Well,
back.
you know what Ron's been doing? Ron's been teaching them on his days off, teaching the deer how to shoot back.
Well, and Ron's deer also come up on the deck and steal his donuts.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know.
Come on,
Well,
guys.
the one deer, wasn't he ringing the doorbell at one time there, Ron?
Yeah. Yeah, he went up and sniffed the doorbell. Come on.
There was 4 of them out here. Of course, I don't know what's over there.
Well, are you guys gonna watch the coronation?
No.
David is going to be moderating, and Laura is going to be assisting as an assistant moderator for the coronation.
Our two friends on here from England are gonna go to the crowning of the king tomorrow. I could give two shit. I'm sorry.
Oh, I mean, it's,
Not tomorrow, the day after.
The day after,
Oh.
on Saturday morning.
I don't know. I just have a problem. That's if the president were to come into town. I wouldn't spend 2 minutes to go see him.
Well,
Yeah, well-
our president, I wouldn't either.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
Ron, he's a complete jackass.
But I'm just saying anybody of importance like that, it just means nothing to me. You know, and I don't know. I commend you, David, though. You and Laura enjoy yourselves and
Back up a little bit, so take them out.
yeah.
Well, it's a once in a life, hopefully a once in a lifetime thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
To be honest, I'm only going for the bands, the military parade and the bands. Not really give a fuck about the royal family.
I used to do a lot of work with the well, I worked with the Canadians too, but the British paratroopers. They used to come to my base and do their halo training there. And I asked them one time, I said, why? They says, well, you know how you get, 300 days of sunshine here? I said, yeah. I said, well, we get 300 days of rain and we can't jump if there's, it's cloudy. Okay, well,
Hold on that minute.
but, I used to do a lot of work with the Canadians too. And that's probably the highlight of my career was working with the Canadians and the Brits. I just enjoyed them both.
Not like those shady Aussies.
We didn't get too many
Yeah.
up there. Once in a blue moon, they'd come with the British, and once in a while they'd come with the Canadians. But it was usually just a handful of them.
Well, the Australians have put on a great show. They have a kangaroo posse. They ride kangaroos on the battlefield.
Well, see, Ron gets a lot of hate from the Australians, right, Ron?
I do. Pick on my
Because he has
camera.
because he has an X2, not an X3. Well, it's just
There they
one
come.
particular Australian.
There they come. Starting to come up now. They're a little more timid. There was a load of them. That was only two.
These don't get hand fed. But these deer, believe it or not, recognize my truck. They can be down the road and I pull in. By the
All
time
right, guys,
park
I'm
the
gonna
truck,
jump off.
Catch you later, Justin.
Hey,
Yeah.
Justin.
See you later.
Hey, Justin, what time you going on?
Whenever Dominic goes on.
What do you say?
They're
Oh,
gonna do another live stream. but-
Justin's gonna go on here in about a half hour. Okay.
No, Dominic's going on.
No, I bet you're gonna go on.
Yeah, I'll
Dominic's
see y'all
sleeping.
later.
Bye.
Well,
Catch you
I'll
later.
let you guys go, but we'll give Lenny a call.
Okay, sounds good.
been
And,
a pleasure talking with you.
Good talking to
Y'all
you
have a
too,
good
and you have a great time bear hunting.
I will.
Okay,
Take care, mate.
okay,
I
we'll
always
see
have
ya.
a good time when I hang out with this guy.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you have to keep Ron under control.
Yeah.
yep, we're gonna try and do that for each other up there. So, all right, guys.
Okay,
Have
we'll
fun.
see ya.
Yep, we'll see you later.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So, David, are you and Laura going to hit the rack, are you?
No, we're going to stay up little bit longer because, like I said, we want to move our sleeping pattern for Saturday. The last thing we need is to be in a big mound of people sleeping away.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, because we're up at 2 o'clock tomorrow night, 2 a.m.
Oh, Mark says he knows a guy is coming over for the coronation and he goes camping in Port Huron. Wow. Okay, everybody. Well, we're down to 11 people watching.
Yeah. Well, Paul, I shall catch you
Okay.
tomorrow, probably.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow, everybody.
All right.
Thanks-
Bye, everybody in the chat.
Thanks for being here. Thanks, everybody in the chat. Bye-bye for now. We'll see you in the